Yeah, dude.
I already started.
Tell your girl you're gonna go home later,
not
dude.
her.
Cut this
dude.
whole part out, even though it's funny.
Tell them Fridays is your night.
Alan's above all that.
Yeah, I'm above all that. Come on now, guys. Welcome to a podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have dude, I don't even know him by his real name, by his government name. I don't want to say his government name. So his name is Joshua St. James, aka Chef St. James. Let's freaking go in the house.
All right.
Welcome in, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm stoked.
Dude, we're excited to have you, man.
We're already having fun.
We're always having fun with you.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that we're outside of your business having a beer, so this is
Yeah.
cool.
A beer.
Well,
We'll get
no,
through-
let's
we'll get
start
through-
with this
we'll get through
actually.
a few more.
Yeah, let's start with this. What kind of beer are you drinking? He brought in several beers. We had a couple already, but yeah, what are you drinking?
Right. Oh my God, this is a lot stronger than I thought it was. This is the Doug Ferocious from Gilgamesh that you provided, sir, which is
How's it?
excellent.
Good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I got Deftones, Phantom Bride, and the India Pale Ale.
What'd you call it? Belgian Beaver? Is that what you called it?
Belching Beaver.
Belgian Beaver. Is Belgian Beaver the brand or the make?
Belching Beaver's the brewery.
The brewery. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are they
okay.
from? Here?
No, they're actually from California. They're the same guys that did those ones that you guys like. The
Like the Virgin or
the Pog and the
Mary
like.
or-
Yeah, they had
the
that.
lager beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
From California.
I know they
Okay.
were the same ones.
And I got some Ancestry. It's cake pastry stout. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pastry.
Pastry stout. Yeah, this tastes like a chocolate cake kind of, and then it's
Yeah.
got a little kick of alcohol in there. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I thought it was gonna be I thought it was gonna be a little
Just a little
scarier, but yeah,
stronger?
a little stronger, but no, it's not bad.
It's thick. It's got
Yeah,
some
yeah, for
thickness to
sure.
it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I can work with this.
It'll do the job.
Let's talk a little bit about yourself, man.
All
This is
right.
why we're here.
All right. Yeah.
Where are you from? Where were you raised?
Salem.
Born and raised.
Yep.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where'd
Yeah. Born and raised in Salem. Lived here. Obviously, all my life. There's a small stint where I lived in Hubbard at a boarding stable,
Okay.
which was interesting.
Yeah.
Because I cleaned horse shit all the time. Oh, can I say that?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good. You can say whatever you
all
want,
right.
man.
I didn't know what
Oh yeah, John. Yeah, John's cool.
bleep me out.
Edit it out.
All right.
We ain't editing shit out.
Yeah,
That's too hard.
cleaning horse shit, but I still worked in Salem, so yeah, born and raised in Salem.
You go to So I'm assuming you went to elementary, middle school.
Yeah, so went to a couple different elementary schools. Lived in Kaiser when I first started, and then in elementary school moved to West Salem. Went to Chapman Hill, which was like up on the hill back in the day,
Yeah.
and I lived on the flats. It was really weird how they had the districts separated,
Mm-hmm.
because like they had this like small section in the flats that were part of
Is that by the Edgewater Street?
Yeah.
Right around that
yeah
area.
yep,
Oh, okay.
Edgewater, like there's Edgewater and then Wallace, and there's like this just the flat area
Yeah.
down near
Exactly.
Walker.
That's probably like the only
Walker.
flat area.
yeah
around there.
yeah it is, and so there's like this small section that went to Chapman Hill or whatever, and yeah, so
Is Chapman Hill? Is that like a? What is that? A Christian school or?
no, it was like
Oh.
just a public school, but it was like way up in the kind of ritzy area.
Oh, okay. I
The
see.
flats were not ritzy back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went there, and then I actually did go to a Christian school. I went to Salem Academy in junior high.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
In
That's
high
the one
school.
on Lancaster, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I went there through junior high and got kicked out in my sophomore year.
Okay.
So yeah.
I didn't see that in you, man. Okay.
Oh,
What'd you
yeah.
get kicked out for? Let's talk about it.
Asking us about Nicholas and stuff. And I was like, dude, you know what it does.
I got kicked out for bad grades.
Bad grades.
Yeah,
Saint
so-
James got kicked out for bad
Is
grades.
that where the name came out?
Well, no. So the bad grades thing. You know how like they like get people on RICO, like
RICO charges?
RICO charges, like
Those are
like-
only gang members, though,
Yeah,
man.
but like this is. I'm definitely not hard at all. I have zero hardness. But but you know how like they get those guys on like tax evasion or whatever, even though they've been killing people.
Right.
Like, I was definitely a troublemaker, but they could really never get some of the trouble stuff that I did.
So they got you for what
So they got me for
could,
bad grades.
and
So-
they went hard on you for bad grades.
Yeah, so I got booted. But
Oh, okay, but you never got caught doing the act.
I got caught with some stuff, but
Some stuff.
there was like I slid through on some
Okay.
things. So, but it was never like it wasn't. And then I should clarify because that makes it sound like it was like real bad. Nothing really bad ever
Yeah.
happened. It was like scuffles and things like that. You know, like
Scuffles.
Little-
nothing big. It was
Little
never.
kid teenage stuff back in the day.
No, I wasn't dealing or doing
No,
anything
just
like
just
that.
scuffles.
Yeah,
Just scuffles. So
which is a big deal in a Christian school. Like,
I could see why.
like you're like, oh my gosh, there's somebody
Yeah.
pushing someone. You know,
So that was your sophomore year, right?
that's when I got kicked out.
Uh.
And then I just did. I went to another school. It was like one of those alternative type schools. Went through that, and then shortly after I graduated, that's actually when I started cooking.
Okay.
So worked in like restaurants around town, like the easy entry ones. I don't know if you guys remember Kwan's.
Quans.
This is the Chinese restaurant that was here for years.
That sounds familiar. Where was this at?
That was over on, what is it, Commercial Mission area. They had the giant
Nah.
Buddha in the like front area.
Oh, is that the one that they tore the building down?
Yeah, they just tore the building down.
Yeah.
Where's
It,
that at?
it's right next to the antique shop that we went to. I think Fussy Duck or Fussy. Yeah, it was right next
Oh,
to
it
where
was
the Fussy
closer
Duck
to
used to be.
downtown than Fussy Duck.
No, the old
Oh, the
Fussy
old one.
Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
What
old
do you mean
Fussy
the old
Duck.
Fussy Duck?
It was right next to AM/PM off of Commercial.
Mhm.
Next to that corner where that not new, but the apartment
Oh,
complex.
the apartment, one of the first new apartment
Yeah,
complexes there in
yeah,
the
Which
yeah.
used to be a really sketchy hotel.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that
it
was a
was like-
hotel.
It was like super sketchy. It was like Oregon something in Oregon, and it was like OCI,
Mhm.
and where it was like, yeah, it's where people from OCI go after they get out. So
Dang.
because it was like it was a really sketchy little.
So they tore it down and built that.
They tore it down and built that bougie apartment complex or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
condo place. So
Yeah, that's one of the first apartments
That I remember, yeah. Well, now there's a bunch, but
Oh,
yeah, that's
yeah.
the first one that I remember, and I think they have like a view to the water or whatnot. I have a buddy that his brother-in-law used to live there. He used to have like a one of like the nicer rooms,
Yeah.
and it was like legit.
Oh shit.
yeah,
Um,
but yeah, Kwan's. I worked at Kwan's. I totally derailed us on that.
That's okay.
subject There.
that's okay.
But yeah, I worked at Kwan's for a little bit, and then a few other restaurants around town, and then I'd like go to this coffee shop in West Salem. You know where Azul's Tacos is
Mhm.
in West Salem?
Yeah.
So there's this little coffee shop there called Crooked House Coffee, and right next door was like one of the nicest restaurants in town.
Yeah.
And the chef would always come in there, and I remember him coming in one day, and he was like, "Hey man, where you working? What are you doing there?" He's really nice dude. He's actually still doing stuff around town, but he works for Marion Polk County Food Share.
Mhm.
But at the time, he was like, "Hey, like, you ever think about doing fine dining?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, that'd be super cool, but like, you got to go to school for that and all this." I'm like 19, 20 or whatever. And he's like, "Not necessarily, if you get somebody that like wants to train you and like go through all the stuff, then you don't necessarily have to go to school for it." So he's like, "Why don't you come down? Like, why don't you come down on a weekend day or whatever during the day when he's doing prep?" And he's like, let's see what you know." So I went down there, and he was asking me questions about like what I did and where I was working. I think I was working at like Michelangelo's at the time, which is like a pizza joint over on Lancaster. I think it's still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
And he's like, he was actually tossing. I remember this. He was tossing vegetables, just prepping, cooking some veggies, and he's tossing it in a saute pan. And he's like, "You can do that, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course I can do that." He's like, "All right, go ahead and give it a shot." Like he called me out.
Yeah.
And so I like go and try and do it, and I freaking dump all his veggies on the floor. And he's like, and I'm like thinking, "Well, that's it for me. I'm going back to pizza." And like,
Yeah.
he's like, "All right, I know where to start." So he had me come back to work and like actually work. And the first day I was there, I thought I was just gonna be doing prep and stuff. And he literally gave me a dry saute pan, dumped some beans in it, and then stuck my face in a corner and like had me just practice doing that motion like over and over again. And then it was a bunch of those like little Miyagi moments, you know, like use your knife for this, do this, like all these different things, dice like this, like little things that he taught me all that stuff. And then, you know, I'd work with him during the week, which were slower days. And then the first big weekend came. He had me come in for the first real big weekend. And he had this dude that had been working for him for a while, who is his saute guy, which is the position I was taking over. And he had the saute guy that was leaving because he was starting his own business, standing right next to me. Like, there's a doorway right next to where I was, and he had him just standing there, like, watching me as I'm, like, trying to cook.
To make you like nervous or something, or put
Not
pressure on you or
necessarily.
something?
No, not necessarily. He wasn't that kind of guy. Like, so like I'm cooking, I'm going, and then like all of a sudden we just get hammered, right? We're in the weeds. I'm in the weeds. He's fine. And then the chef goes, Josh, out. And I like step out, and the other dude comes in and takes over, right? So he had him there because he knew I was gonna fail, but he just wanted to push me and see how far I could go. Until that failing point, and they just had me sit there and watch the other dude. And the other dude was watching me, like knew exactly where I was, knew exactly what to do and how to get back on track, and he got back on track and everything. And so that was like the first real chef that I worked for, who was awesome.
That's good though. They had the eye to know when to step in, kind of analyze the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Let you suffer a little bit, you know, a little pressure here and there.
Exactly.
And just, boom.
Yeah, he put me in you know, I was in the shit for that, you know, like trying to do it. And that was how he taught, and that was how he trained me, and that was awesome. You know, that was a really good experience. And then I worked for some other chefs. I actually worked at Wild Pear way back in the day, when they were like out where
like this Wild Pear right here.
Yeah, the Wild Pear that's here, but they at the time they were at it was Robert's Crossing. It's not Robert's Crossing anymore. Like way out South Salem, like way out River Road in the boondocks.
Okay.
There's
South
another
River Road
restaurant
then.
there. Yeah, South River Road.
Okay.
There's another restaurant out there right now. I was actually working there when 9/11 happened.
Shoot.
I was just talking about that with someone today.
Dude, 9/11, I was what, 7th grade? What, were you even born? Were you even born 9/11?
Y'all really want to know where I was at 9/11?
2000 kid.
Dude, I was in kindergarten.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, when 9/11 happened back then, when you would get to school in the mornings, they would have those old school like TVs, like the fat ones.
Yeah,
The big ones, right? And there would be like morning news or something like that, like school morning news, and they like put that out that 9/11 had happened, and like everybody was like freaking out, and like kids were getting picked up from school.
you totally remember that.
Yeah,
though, right?
I remember that vividly. Like,
Yeah.
I remember that. Like, they made a big deal about it when I was in school, but
Oh, thanks, man. man.
but I remember I remember that that everybody was freaking out, and I remember exactly where I was. I remember exactly what we were doing. Like, we were all like in a huddle, like we were all like doing like group activities, watching this TV when that like broke out. And it's funny when I talk to other people and they're like, "Oh, I was doing this." We have a buddy. His name is Jeff, and he's I think he's like 38, 39. So every time this guy brings up anything, like I'll be like, "Oh, dude, I remember, dude, I was like in kindergarten." And like it pisses him off because I'm like, dude, you're old, bro. Like I was doing this, and he was like in college when this happened, and I'm like, dang, dude. I'm like, dude, I was in kindergarten. I'm like, just let that sink in.
Dude, that's crazy.
Just gets under his skin.
I was in 7th grade walking in, saw that everyone was watching on the TV, those big ass TVs. But yeah, it was
I remember my dad. I was like sleeping, like 19, 20. I don't remember how old I was. I was 20 years old. Sleeping, and like my dad's like, they hit us, and I'm like, what are you even talking about, man? Like, and I go out there, and he's like standing in front of the TV and like showing it, and it like took like I was still groggy, still like what? I don't even understand what's going on, like what is this, And then I remember going to work, and I'm just like, what are we supposed to do today?
Yeah.
Like,
Was it like dead at work that day?
oh, it was so dead.
No one was out.
Yeah, nobody was out. It was like
Streets were
we were
empty.
just like nobody knew what to think or do, or none of that. That it was weird.
Damn, that is weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Like I think it was like honest. Like I look back in hindsight, you know, and my 20-year-old self, like nothing phases a 20-year-old. You know, it's just like everything's like kind of whatever. You know, at least back then. I don't know how 20-year-olds are now. Like I can only speak for myself, but like it was just like I remember there was another cook there who was about my age, and we were both just like, dude, what is this even going? Are we gonna work today? What's going on? You know, like so much of the like tragedy and everything just flew right over our heads, you know. But for like little kids, it was probably even more scary, you know, for little kids and like older people and stuff.
Do you think that they were gonna send you guys out to the Middle East, like start like mass recruiting?
You know, that was a thing. Like definitely there was a curiosity about the draft. Right? Like, are they gonna draft us or whatever? I don't think it was that big of a scare, or that big of a question. You know, like I had to sign up. You know, everybody signs up for the draft when they're 18. You know, if you're like, you know, here you get a letter and a like freaking box of Gillette razors that are like, hey, you're a man now. You got to sign up, and you know
they don't do that. They don't do that no more.
They don't do the Gillette razors.
No.
Cheap ass motherfuckers.
Dude, when I turned 18, I was thinking about joining the Marines, and I had gone. And they gave me this test, and I didn't pass the test, and the guy was.
Was it the like glove in the finger?
No, not that test. I didn't take that test. No, the guy goes, yeah. He's like, you didn't pass the test. He's like, but I'm gonna give you the name of his book. He's like, read it, and then you can come back and take the test. And then I'm like, I wonder what book he's gonna. It's like Math for Dummies or something like that. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I ain't coming back to this shit.
Damn, dude.
I was like, cold-blooded, dude.
That's cold, dude.
I was like, damn.
That's like
that would, yeah. But so you were working at the Wild Pear?
Yeah, back then.
Let's not talk about this anymore. Let's change the
subject.
It's a sensitive subject,
talk about
man.
you. Yeah.
We're here for you.
Let's go back to the cooking.
Let's get you know, the sad story about the Marines. The Marines.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the point.
Cut the segment about remedial algebra out of the video.
Dude, I don't even think they had that, dude. It wasn't even that. But the point is, I didn't pass. But back to your story. So
you it was probably a trick question.
Out very South Salem.
Yeah, out South
Salem.
Salem.
River Road.
Worked at Wild Pear. Worked at this other restaurant called Moonbaker, which was a really interesting concept downtown.
Moonbaker.
Yeah, there was actually. It was like a club, but also a really nice restaurant at the same time.
Oh, the 21 and over club?
So it was, yeah. Well,
it was where the Liberty
like
Plaza is, right?
No. It was across the street. It was like now it's like Cafe Shine or something like that.
Across the street of Liberty Plaza.
I think so. Yeah.
Some Christian. I think.
Yeah. Cafe Shine. Yeah. So they like I remember when that place opened up, they had this big controversy over this like mirrored window.
Yeah.
Like the city of Salem was like freaking out about like, oh, there's a mirrored window. People can see out, but you can't see in or what's going on. It was like in the paper.
Whoa.
About like people are like freaking out about it. But that was a cool place. The chef was really amazing there. He was the like Gordon Ramsay type chef, like the kind that would throw stuff and get angry and yell at people. Like,
okay.
He was real hardcore. The funny thing is, so he worked during the day, and I worked during the day, and then he had his night crew, and he was there for part of their shift. And those are the guys that he would yell at and get upset about. Well, some of the customers too. Like if they didn't order the food right, he'd get real upset about it. But he never yelled at me, never got upset at me. And it's not because I was great at all. I was barely learning anything. You know, I'd been at Morton's, the bougie restaurant. And he was like the real like old school French style chef. Like he went through the whole French program, like French apprenticeship. And for whatever reason, he just never like gave me a hard time. Like he was actually very nurturing. Like
really?
Yeah. Like, hey, buddy, come up with some specials. And then like I'd come up with something and I'd be like, oh, is he gonna be like, you're a fucking idiot? But he never did. He was just always like, let's adjust this, let's do this, and then I'd hear him screaming and yelling at other people, like throwing
Dang.
sheet pans and stuff. But he never did that with me. So I was like really fortunate with like some of the
You
guys.
were the
that I
golden
worked with.
child.
It was a name.
It was
Did they
my
say
name,
James?
yeah. That name one
He's
didn't
like-
the name didn't exist back then.
Oh.
So, but
Back when
he-
you used his government name.
yeah, I used my government name. Yeah, but yeah, I was really fortunate with those guys, and then that actually spoiled me because I ended up going working for another kitchen here in town that is still here. I won't say who it is, but they were very corporate style, which it wasn't anything I was used to, and like I did not like it. I did not like the very
The corporate atmosphere.
the corporate
on the
atmosphere. I didn't like any of
go.
that stuff.
What's so different about a corporate atmosphere kitchen versus a not corporate atmosphere
Well,
kitchen?
It's like a chain, right? It's like a.
Yeah, I mean, like you got like everything's very rigid, like very like the recipe has to be this. Doesn't matter if you can make it better. Doesn't matter if anything's better.
Just
None of that matters.
follow
You have to
instructions,
follow
that's it.
exactly how things are supposed to be, right? For consistency, because customers are going to come in, they're going to expect the exact same thing every single time, which is why you guys may have noticed that I change things all the time at Valiant, right? Like you aren't gonna always get the same thing. I will change the menu. I don't give a shit if it's the most popular sandwich. If I'm tired of it, I'm gonna.
Dude,
get
you
it,
guys are
take
the
it off the menu.
Costco of restaurants,
Yeah,
bro.
honestly,
Yeah.
shout out to
Yeah,
Valiant
it's like,
You better
Sandwich.
get it now.
Yeah, you better get it now, because next week that might not even be in the
Yeah.
same aisle, or it may not even be there
And
anymore.
it's like if a sandwich like it's a sandwich shop, but like if a sandwich starts pissing me off, like I don't care if everybody loves it, I'm gonna get rid of it.
Dang,
Like,
R.I.P. to the
Dude,
burrito then.
I went last time. No, we don't have it.
We don't have burritos no more.
It's good though. I like it though.
the
you know?
burrito, yeah, the burrito.
No, I don't know what it was, but dude, no. Oh, at the time they were not doing the burrito apparently, but
I got the burrito at night now.
at night. that's
Oh
what-
yeah, it
that's
starts after
probably
2.
what was.
It
That's
starts
probably-
after 2.
After 2. Okay, that's what it was. I
Yeah,
didn't
the
know.
lockdown.
Yep.
Yeah, lockdown
Mhm.
burrito.
Dang.
all the
Hey,
good-
lockdown burrito. Valiant Sandwich is where it's at.
Yep. Lockdown burrito after 2, guys.
Let's go.
That's right. You can get it. You can get it up until 11 o'clock in the morning, but I do not do them at lunch
But
because I don't.
But I understand because I worked at a buffet for just a bit. Probably like a year and a half. But it's the buffet was kind of like more of a corporate field.
Yeah.
And it's like you gotta do it this way. You gotta do it this way. And it's like they have a system in place, but it's so like. This is what you mean though. Like
And-
everything has to be the same every single time, and it's like
Yeah, as an older, more mature individual nowadays, I get that. Like I can understand that particular business model. That that definitely makes sense because there is a lot of people that want the same thing every single time, right? So that makes perfect sense to me. Back then, like I was like, who gives a shit? Like we're gonna make it good and make it better, and we're gonna improve on things all the time. Because those chefs who I worked for, who I learned so much from, encouraged that in me, right? So they were like, oh, we can change things as we go. We can make things a little different. We can do things a little different if it's going to be better or if we just want to try something different, So that's why I say they spoiled me. So when I get into this other, type of environment, like as a young punk, and I was a total like, I was a punk. I was a little bitch with stuff like.
You're a millennial?
Yeah, I was. Dude, I'm the first year of millennial for sure. Like, 81's supposed to be the first year of millennials. That's the year I was born. So, like, yeah, I definitely was. I was, trailblazing the millennial path of being little bitches with stuff. But I got into that corporate world, and I was like, this sucks. Like, I hate this. Honestly, like. The best people I ever worked with was in that particular place. Those guys actually like really made me have a really good work ethic because they had an amazing work ethic. But from a creativity standpoint and from what I was nurtured for being like creative and coming up with things, it just didn't mesh.
yeah.
So when I left there, I was I still worked in some restaurants, but for the most part, I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore unless I have my own place. Like, I don't want to like work for other people and do this corporate bullshit. I'd do it now, to be honest, like, because I get it. Like I said, I understand it. And I'm not as pretentious or whatever that I used to be. I hope. But yeah.
Yeah. It's so. Have you always been interested in like in cooking, or it was
Yeah,
since
dude.
that one time? Since that
Yeah.
one time they told you, hey, let's do this, try it
I
out.
like how you
or
open that.
You like that?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
have
so
you heard
like,
that? Have you heard that Mexicans
know how to open a bottle with anything, man.
I love it.
Yeah, dude,
A
with the
lighter, anything, a shoe, camera,
I love it.
chancla, headphones.
headphones.
That's another reason I want to be Mexican. Like, seriously.
We're selling the shit out of this dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so when I was a kid, like my parents actually, my mom and dad always encouraged me, like, they didn't encourage me, but I always wanted to make something, right? Like, my brother was actually a really good cook. And I'm the youngest of 5, and the closest in age to me is 10 years older than me. So there's like a huge gap, right? So like I had all these older brothers and my sister who are like, way older than me. They won't like me saying that, but they are.
Where were they when 9/11 happened?
I don't know, dude. But they like my oldest brother, he did a lot of cooking, and I always thought that was super cool, and I want to do that kind of stuff. And I remember my parents being like, I'd tell them I want to make a sandwich, right? And they'd be like, all right, you can make whatever sandwich anything you want, but you have to eat it.
Ooh.
Like, no matter what it is, you got to eat it. So I'd make like a peanut butter and ketchup sandwich, and it was fucking nasty in my like little kid mind.
Yeah.
But I'd eat it, and so that's where that kind of started. That kind of like.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So, I always loved cooking. I always loved doing that. So I love creating. I love like entertaining and creating and doing creative things.
Do you come from like an artist background or
Not really.
Not at all? Okay.
No, I mean like my mom was an artist. Like, she loved art. I love create. She's a really great illustrator. My dad was just an entrepreneur and a hustler. Like worked his ass off.
Are your parents from here? Salem?
No, so my mom was from the Bay Area. Originally from the East Coast, and then my dad was from Utah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, my dad. Interesting. Like I told you, I'm the 10 years after my next in line, right?
Yeah.
My other brother. My dad was the youngest of 8, and his dad. So my grandfather was born in 1899. So there's like this massive gap in like age, right? So like his dad was like pretty old for the most part when my dad was born, and then my dad was like pretty old when I was born. So there's like a weird upbringing thing, like weird like cultural like.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like the like like my dad's father didn't raise him the same way as his contemporary kids were raised, because they had another generation in between that.
Exactly. That is, it's
So,
different. Your grandparents are from Utah, or?
Yeah, so my grandparents were from Utah, Wyoming, and then they moved to Utah, and that's where they lived. And then my dad like kind of traveled all over, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Like honestly, those guys, my dad and his brothers, got some real crazy stories.
The Wild Boys.
Yeah, they were real wild. And then my dad came to came to Portland area, Oregon, with my mom, and had the families and everything. So.
How old was your grandfather when they had your dad? Do you know?
Shit, dude, I don't know.
You know what I find weird? I find that other cultures, they know more about their grandparents than really Mexicans. Because if you ask me, I don't know anything about fuck, dude. You can ask me about my grandmother, and I know everything about my grandmother, but my grandfathers, I guess they weren't. One of them wasn't really in the picture. The other one was just really old. Like he had how many? He had 13 kids.
Damn.
My dad was the second youngest out of 13 kids.
Wow.
But is it that way because a lot of them have migrated over here and it's the second generation
What do you mean?
that you don't know much about them?
No, I'm first generation.
No, or first generation.
I don't think that's what it.
I think it's what
you
it
think
is
that's what it is because we don't talk really with the
exactly
with
because I
our-
don't know much. All I know is that dude, my grandpa is like 97. Dude,
Wow.
Dude, and this guy's
this guy's
he's a trooper, man. This guy walks.
my
He can
grandpa
outwalk
already-
us.
That's awesome.
97 strong.
That's your grandpa?
Yeah, grandpa.
Dang,
but,
dude.
I
So you
think,
got gaps in your like.
yeah,
in
my
your-
97. So my mom, she's got stepbrothers and sisters, but I think in total it's like 18.
Holy
Wow.
shit!
18.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the
Stallion.
interesting thing. Interesting thing about like anywhere in the world, I'm sure you live in a village or farm
Mhm.
like old school. That I mean, they have like more than like 6 kids, no? You
Yeah,
would
they all
say?
did.
You
But
would say?
but that was a different mentality because they would have kids because their kids would help them out too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like they would help
It's
out
just
in
growing. It's growing the land. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Just like it could be from whether you're in South America, Mexico, Asia. Like all these countries usually are really family oriented.
Which I love.
So it's like
I don't think Asians had as many kids as us, dude. They would cap them at like
certain,
2.
no. I mean, there's a lot of countries in Asia, dude.
Oh, cool.
Dude, you used to think
I'm
Egypt,
close-minded, I
you
guess.
used to think Egypt was in South America. Just
Dude,
to tell you that.
This guy thinks he's smarter than me, dude.
No, I don't think I'm
He
smarter
thinks
than
he's
you.
smarter than me because he watches soccer.
Didn't we go over the marine thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll shut up. All right, let's keep going. All right, let's keep going. you
No, but I
I love that though,
you know,
dude. That's freaking awesome.
maybe certain Asian countries don't, but a lot of them live to live 110.
Oh, yeah, they
100
live very
years
old age.
right? So it's like
Mm.
all their kids and everybody, the way they grow and the way they live. There has to be something, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but
Talking about living at old age, you know how I told you my mom went to Atlanta for Christmas this year, and she was visiting with uncles and aunts and stuff, and they pulled up a picture that they found of me with my great grandmother.
Whoa.
So when
Oh,
I went,
damn.
I was 4 when I went to Mexico. I turned 5 there. The first time I went to Mexico, and I took a picture with her, and she was like 96 back when I took a picture with her.
Wow.
But she lived till she was like 103 or 104.
That's amazing.
But she was like walking around on her own and everything at
Yeah.
100 and at 96. I don't know how she was when she passed away. But when I went and they sent me the picture of her, me with her,
Oh,
it was
really?
crazy. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Damn,
crazy.
dude. That's
But ask me about my
That's
grandfather.
your great grandmother.
My great grandmother, but I don't know
Wow.
anything about my great grandfather, so I couldn't tell you.
dude, that's
Hey,
crazy.
boy,
Women
that's
live
all that
longer than
matters,
men,
right?
dude.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they say a lot of guys are always just doing a bunch of shit.
Just
dude.
wilding out,
Wilding
dude.
out.
Yeah. Dude, that's
Ah.
awesome, man.
But yeah, that is crazy, dude. But
That's and that's one thing I love too about the different cultures that are really family oriented. You know, like I don't see that a lot here. You know, like in the States.
have you ever been outside of the States or?
Yeah, I've gone out. You know, I've gone to Mexico and Canada and stuff, but I haven't really traveled as much as I'd really like to.
Yeah.
But like family was always super important to me. Like my brothers and my sister are all really close, even though like a lot of the time that like I would say they're a little more closer to each other than they are to me, only because I was just a little kid and they had all gone to
'Cause of the
college
age,
or whatever.
right? Like,
Yeah, so
yeah.
it's the age gap or whatever. But like we're all like very much, you know, gonna take care of each other and protect each other and no matter what. Like we might fight about certain things or disagree on certain things, but when it comes down to it, you know, that's a family. And, you know, that's why I love other cultures that are very family oriented because
Dude, you're
I
invited.
get it.
You're invited to the carne asada.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
We drink. We eat. You
We-
can't
I
judge our
will-
food
I will
though.
You
go.
can't judge our food. You can't
We-
judge.
we got-
You can't judge our drinking, dude. During my
You can't judge mine then.
during my
Huh?
baby shower, my first baby shower.
Yeah?
We had someone black out.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that would have
remember?
been me.
Yeah, we had someone black out, and he ended up crying. We have a picture. We took a picture with him because it was during the I guess it was still considered summer. so it was kind of like muggy outside that day.
Yeah.
So when we went, I think he blacked out around 8:30, maybe 9, pushing it if I say 9.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of mosquitoes out, so
Oh.
we put a blanket over him because we didn't want him to get bit.
Sure.
You know, so
Well,
we,
you're very
we were
kind.
looking out. You know,
Yeah.
and so if you black out with us, you know, I just want you to know we'll put a blanket over you.
I
You know?
appreciate that. and I
But
would love
then
to do that.
then we took selfies with him.
Yeah.
So so the
Well, I'd expect nothing less. I'd want to see that.
so there's a selfie there. But yeah, we get it doesn't do for my 1-year-old.
Yeah.
We get wild into. It's like it's their birthday, but it's like we celebrate their
Yeah.
birthday for them. You know.
Yeah, it's wilding out, but you
That
know.
was that. It's funny because like one of my oldest sons, I think it had to be his first or second birthday. Like we had this massive party, like keg and
Oh,
like, all
shit.
kinds of stuff. Like
Damn.
everybody was like drinking, and I remember like on our block, we heard this music playing. Right, his birthday's in the middle of the summer. I heard this music playing, and like me and another guy that was there at the party like ended up like walking around to find out where this music was, and there was like another party going on. And sorry, I had to burp because of the beer.
It's all good.
So there's another party going on, and then we ended up hanging out, and then my buddy ends up hopping on the drums and is playing drums, and
Oh,
like had his
yeah.
whole band playing, like
Hell
like,
yeah,
we're, like
live
eating
music.
food,
Yeah.
and like it was
Dude. It's crazy. So you've been to a carne asada, right? Like
Okay, you gotta explain that a little bit better.
Mexican cookout, like we just barbecuing.
Yeah, oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, there across the street, there's a dude that has a taqueria up in
Oh, okay.
Portland.
Yeah.
And his niece like has a birthday party, and his kid has a birthday party every year, and like my daughter's friends with one of the kids over there, and like he like brought his whole like setup, and like come on over, so we're like all eating tacos, and
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it was awesome, dude. I love that. I love it.
Hell yeah.
It's a part. Yeah, it's just it's more of a. It just goes back to the roots, you know. Like, hey, you want this? You want to eat this? Hey, you're part of us.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, we're like welcoming, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere you go, it's just like a lot of times. I'm sure you know, right? If you were to go to your grandma's house, it's like, hey, mijo, like, hey, you want some food? Like, no, grandma, I already ate. No, I get you some food, right?
You're too
just-
skinny.
It's
You're
that
too
it's that
skinny.
welcoming thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think the culture is like that everywhere, right? So like, yeah, you just come to our place.
Yeah.
hang
No,
out.
I love that.
We invite everybody. You know, John's been to our carne asadas.
Yeah.
They overfed me. It was great.
Juanito.
Yeah, we call him Juanito when he's with us.
I was in pain, and his wife kept trying to feed me.
Yeah, dude. It's
Is
like,
that
hey,
his
Juan-
name? Is that his
Juanito? Yeah.
Juanito?
That's
Yeah.
his
That's better than
John-
my.
Saint Juanito.
That's better than my name that my Mexican friends gave me.
What did he give you?
Huh?
What name did he give you?
Bizcocho.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Translate for people.
Hey, did you work with a lot of Hispanic?
Biscuit.
Yeah, I thought it was like.
Yeah.
You worked in the restaurant. field,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
did.
you were.
Yeah, I
Okay,
was
okay.
like there's one restaurant I worked at. I was like the only wedo in the whole place.
Yeah.
And I remember, like,
Dude, savage.
I remember like sitting there in orientation, and I'm like, oh, I'm the only dude here that's like
Yeah.
not from Mexico.
This is a fancier version of cracker, basically. Is what I'm hearing.
I think it was
No,
a
no,
personal
no, no,
one.
no, no,
To
no,
be honest,
no.
I
Not mean or derogatory.
No,
it's just
it is mean, but it's
I think it was a personal one. Like it was a very.
It's like me calling you cupcake.
it was in.
That's literally what it is. That's literally me calling you
No, I
cupcake.
don't think it was offensive.
It's
I
not
think
offensive. It's
no.
more. It is picking on him, but it's more.
It was
it's not-
endearing.
It's endearing. Yes.
Yes, it was very endearing.
Yes.
And like this dude Edgar, at one restaurant he worked at, and the other restaurant he worked at was what was his other name? I can't remember. Anyway, he was like, they take too much taxes. He told me like if you like he's oh shit, what was his other name? I can't remember, but he was like, if you come visit me, don't ask for Edgar. And
Yeah.
that's when I became an anarchist, because I was
Yeah?
like, they fucking take too much taxes
Yeah,
out. So
yeah.
like,
That's when he got his new name.
Anyway.
St. James.
Hey, I
So-
tell you what, if someone gives you a nickname, a Mexican gives you a nickname, you're in, man.
oh, dude, I felt amazing.
Because we
Like,
give everybody nicknames. Like,
But
honestly,
sometimes they don't like them, but
we give people nicknames. We forget their real name.
I was cool with him
Yeah.
calling bizcocho.
Whatever
Like
it is,
that was
yeah.
okay. But I remember like the orientation. I asked Edgar. I was like, "Hey man, like I don't know Spanish. Will you teach me Spanish?" He's like, "Oh, what do you want to learn Spanish?" And I was like, "So I know what you guys are calling me." And he was like, "All right, like yeah, I'll
Okay,
teach you some
okay.
Spanish." So like I like to this day I swear in Spanish. Like
Yeah.
like
In the
and
kitchen when he's by himself.
because no, seriously, I do, and it's very involuntary. Like instead of like motherfucker,
Hi-
I'm like saying like chinga la madre, no
Yeah.
más. Like that's
Yeah, I was gonna say no mames.
that's
Like the first one.
that's my go-to,
Yeah.
right? And I remember my son recently was like, "What does that mean, Dad?" And I was like, "Oh shit!
Yeah.
Like I got to tell him the truth.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell him what it means, but I have to tell him the truth so he doesn't go around saying it like he thinks it's something not like it's
Yep.
like innocuous, right?" And I'm like, all right. Anyway, yeah. So I worked with these dudes, and they were like, those are the dudes that were like that had the work ethic that I was like, oh my god, I need to be like these guys. Like these guys are like fucking hardcore. They work hard. They
They drink
more
a
than
lot.
more than anything, they're proud of the work they did, right? Like we're fucking cooks, and they cooked and they did good, and like I wanted to be like that, right? That was a big thing at that one restaurant that I was mentioning earlier. Like the work ethic, like really changed my mindset with a lot of stuff. But yeah, Edgar was one of those dudes.
Shout out to Edgar.
Shout out to Edgar, man.
Let's go.
So you said you were working at the restaurant that shall not be named. It was a more corporate style restaurant.
Yeah.
And then you left there.
I left there. I worked at some other places, like some like just shitty places.
There we
And then
go.
after that, I was
Breaking
like,
the seal.
I'm gonna have to follow you here pretty soon. Like squeeze me. So,
Nice, cool.
what was I saying?
So you left that place. You said you worked at a couple different places.
Yeah. So then, and then I was like, I want to get out of the restaurant world until I can own my own place. I really wanted to have my own spot, right?
Where did that motivation come from? Owning your own spot.
You know, probably my dad, just
Mhm.
being like an entrepreneur and like make your own path type of thing.
What did
So,
your dad do for work?
he did all kinds of stuff, man. Like
Was he ever in the restaurant business?
No, honestly.
Okay.
Well, before I was born, I think he managed the wooden nickel or did something with the wooden nickel.
Which one?
The the original Sublimity one.
Sublimity. Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
So I
My
think
dad,
so.
my dad was actually the main cook
Really?
at the Wooden Nickel in Silverton.
Oh, all right.
For years. And my godfather, which were like family from Mexico,
Mhm.
he got him the job there too. So they were like, one of them worked mornings and then the other one worked nights, and they did that. My godfather worked there for like dude. I think like probably like 8-10 years, and my
Yeah?
dad worked there for like 6 years.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know anything about when my dad was there,
Mhm.
like, because I think that was before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's really the only thing. Like my uncle, I had an uncle who was in the restaurant business in Utah, and so he would interesting. He has an interesting history. He actually just passed away in December. He was the closest thing to a grandpa that I had because my actual grandpa, died when he was like in like 1969.
Okay.
Right. But this guy, he was in the Korean War, and he was stationed in Japan, right? And I'm looking at you like talking about
He's our Jamie. He knows everything.
yeah. So
He's
he was in the Korean War in Japan during the Korean War, and he met his wife there, who was Japanese, and he brought her home, and Aunt Wendy, like super sweet lady, she taught me like a few different things as far as like Japanese cooking goes. But they started a restaurant in Utah that still exists to this day. They sold it at some point in history, but it's still there. So there's that, you know, if there's any family like restaurant history, that would be it. My dad was very much an entrepreneur, a salesman, like, you know, extremely hard worker. Yeah, my dad's gonna be 80 this year, and he's still like working constantly, like doing stuff around his little farm and everything that he has. very sharp. So as far as a restaurant, like what I wanted to do, like I just wanted to do my own thing. Like I didn't want people telling me how to do things or whatever. That very independent entrepreneurial spirit. I gotta pee.
Go for it, bro.
Go
All right,
right
go
there.
for
The
it.
key's right there.
I'm not gonna go right there.
Oh. No, the keys
Dude,
are
that's-
right there.
Dude, that,
Yeah.
dude, that's my jersey, bro. You better not go on my jersey, dude.
Nice technique. I like it.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah,
I'm,
you
I-
guys
I'm among my
you guys can continue
people that adopted me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
John, we're paying you the big bucks, dude. You can't even have a bathroom break. Come on.
You walking out in the middle of the recording. You tell me
Really?
you can't back in.
Is he recording right now?
We're gonna cut it though. This is not.
Yeah,
Gonna, we're not gonna
could-
put this
yeah,
in.
we could edit it and take it off. It's better than just stop
I
it.
got a little sip here. I better.
John, are you okay?
Dude, it's not time to make
Are you
friends right now,
just
John.
building?
I was in it like a long time ago I was telling Alan like there was a production company called Sea Legs Media.
It was what?
Sea Legs Media.
Oh,
They're still around. They do amazing stuff like video production stuff. And I did a commercial. This is when I was trying to be an actor. It was like one of the things I was trying to do.
We gotta talk about, yeah.
I was like trying to do in the midtime, like between like from when I was like vowed to never work at a restaurant until I owned my own
So
place.
we're almost there then.
So yeah, we're about
almost
there.
there.
So should I talk about it? Are we recording or
No,
like,
we're gonna cut this off though until Juanito gets back so he can mess with the cameras.
Switch the cameras.
okay? So
Yes,
should
sir.
I wait
It's
until
up
the
to you. I
start?
We'll
Yeah,
ask you.
don't
We're gonna ask you
All right.
anyways. We're gonna ask you. We'll ask you.
We'll
You
get
guys,
to it.
we wanna get
so
into
you
the
eat the
meat and
midterm,
potatoes.
like the midterm stuff when I was like trying to be an.
He's giving us the cliffhanger right
Yeah.
When I when I was trying to be an actor, that
Yeah.
was the
Damn.
stupidest stuff ever, dude.
Hey, you tried it though, man.
Hell
I
yeah.
tried it.
You
Yeah, I
tried
know.
it.
Like
No
You tried
regret.
it,
No regrets.
I really don't. I don't
That-
have it.
I
so.
think that's what it's about.
If you try it, you didn't work out, dude. Right now, you're where you're at.
That's a tough. It's a tough world, like
Oh, I'm sure.
like I was at the very bottom of the barrel
Mm.
for anything, right? Like I'm in Portland, and Portland at the time was like doing a lot of film stuff, right? So there's a lot of like people trying to be actors in Portland, but
Yeah.
like I see like there's different cities that the LA, Hollywood, they'll like love Portland for a while and then they'll move on to someplace else.
It's not a big market, you know.
So no, it's not now.
Yeah.
Portland was a big market for a
Really?
while.
I heard it was a Vice City, man. It was like
People loved like production companies love coming to Portland. They'll do a lot of films in Portland, TV shows and stuff. So there was work for actors.
yeah,
But it
just never.
You ready,
you
John?
really got to go to LA.
That's all right.
Do you like lager beer or no?
I like all beer.
Oh, because all there's left is Pacifico.
Oh,
Like had
did we
this-
go through it all?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's
No,
all
it's
right.
all good. No, I'm saying if
That's
you
what
like,
they're for.
if not, we'll send Juanito down and get some IPAs.
All right.
It won't let me have a bathroom.
What'd you call him?
Juanito.
Juanito.
At least Mayo.
I thought you called him Guarito.
Oh, sometimes we call him
No,
mayo.
no. Mayo.
Sometimes we call him mayo. From the
Mayo?
movie?
Oh,
mayo.
that was
Mayo.
Have you ever watched? No, I don't think.
Blood In, Blood Out?
No, it's not from
Is that
Blood
what
and
it's
Blood.
called?
It's not from
Yeah.
Blood.
Blood In, Blood
It's not
Out.
from
Yes,
Blood-
it
No,
is.
it's not.
That's not from Blood In, Blood
No,
Out,
it's
is it?
not.
No.
It's from
something hard.
But I know
Get
Blood In,
Hard.
Blood
It's
Out.
from Get
Oh,
Hard.
yes.
It's from Get Hard.
I know Blood In, Blood Out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not from that though. It's from Get Hard with Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I
no,
never
not
saw
Kevin,
Get Hard.
Not Kevin Hart. It's from
But it's Mayo.
Was it
Mayo-
Kevin Hart and what's the other guy's name?
Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell. Yeah. Kevin Hart and Will
Oh,
Ferrell.
dude, I need to watch that.
Yeah.
It's good. You need to watch
Yeah.
You
it.
haven't watched it?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You'll get it. Yeah, it is from that. Yeah.
That's what
Blood
I
In,
told
Blood
you.
Out's great,
I was
though.
telling you. Why are you telling me like I was wrong?
Dude, I don't know. My bad.
Back from break. Back
Yeah.
from break.
Hey, use that thingy, dude. That
What thingy?
cut thingy, slith or what do you call it?
The slate,
Slate.
The clap? We don't need to do it.
Oh, okay.
the
my
clap,
bad, dude.
like
my
the
bad.
disease.
It's all
The
time.
clap.
You should be able to put them in a line and basically like.
I have the
put them out
clap.
lined up and then cut and paste.
Ah,
right?
okay.
So yeah, so you said you quit there. You had a couple miscellaneous cooking jobs,
Yeah,
and then
and then I tried to get into retail.
so you quit there, and you're like, I'm not doing kitchen until I own my own spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in the meantime, I was like trying to do retail. I went to Home Depot and Mervin's. I don't know if you remember
Ooh,
What is
Mervyn's
okay.
back in the day.
Yeah.
It turned into
remember.
Coles.
Mhm.
Wait,
Uh,
hold on. 2,000 kids know about that?
Mervin's, dude. Do you remember?
Open.
Hold on, hold on,
open.
It
No,
was
mami.
hold on, Mervin's, and then it was Marin Frank's.
Myron
remember
Frank's
that?
was near Sonora, but it wasn't.
No,
the
it
same
was
as
where
Mervyn's.
Macy's is now.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
Macy's was
saying.
Myron Frank's. Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
that's what I'm saying. So there was that, and then there was Marin Frank's where Macy's is. Do you not know this?
Macy's in
Downtown Salem.
oh no, dude.
Center.
Dude, how old are you, bro?
Dude.
How is a 2000s kid telling you what's up, dude?
I don't know.
I'm
maybe,
disappointed
hey,
in you,
maybe
son.
I wasn't downtown, dude.
Dang.
Damn, that is. Hey, it surprises me that you know.
So, do you know who Marin Frank is?
No.
So there's a cake shop. It's on the corner of it's on commercial. It's right before the AM PM. There's a cake shop right
Okay,
there,
yeah, I know.
and that's called starts with an F. What's it called?
It's on the left hand side.
Yeah, it's on the left hand side.
I don't-
That guy,
Conditorei?
Conditorei, yes.
Yes.
He owned that too.
Really?
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
Jerry Frank. Oh my gosh.
Holy shit.
2,000 kid.
Okay, why I'm
Oh.
putting you guys on game right now. No, the game hasn't
What?
even started yet. The game hasn't even started. Do you know what that guy did for a living?
I just thought he like wrote books about cakes or something.
No.
What do you do for a
What?
living?
No. He was a stud, dude. He was Oregon's like fuck. I'm gonna botch the shit out of this. So he
You need to
first started off,
Wikipedia this up?
huh?
Do we need to Wikipedia
But
this?
it's-
We can. So can you Google
Guarito.
Gary,
Let's hear some.
that guy Gary, I think his name was Gary. Hey, Gary Frank,
Gary Frank.
Salem, Oregon.
Jerry
Salem, Oregon. Jerry Frank, Salem, Oregon. So this guy was like the Bachelor of Salem. So he was a weatherman for a little bit. Watch. Hold on. Listen to me. Hold on. Hear me out. So
He just died too.
he
like-
did. I know. That's where I'm going
he
with this.
did?
I'm gonna give you the story to this.
Shit.
So he was an anchor for Oregon, dude. Like,
Really?
he was an anchor for Oregon. So he was a weatherman for a little bit, and then I think he just knew the right people. That's what I think. I don't know. I think he just knew the right people that put him in the right spots. But he was very well known in Oregon, and he had a TV show, and people knew him from that TV show. But this guy was also, after he retired from the TV show, I think he did that for like 20, 25 years. He ended up getting into politics here in Salem, Oregon. So then he was a big person in our community, but at this point he had already made bank, and then he
And
had
made
started.
babies.
He had started. I don't know about babies, and
He said
like,
he's a stud.
well, I'm saying he's a stud because I don't even think he had babies, dude. I think he lived that bachelor life his whole life.
Alright.
Because I think I may be wrong. I read on the Statesman Journal a long time ago that he was like the Oregon's bachelor or something like that. Like they like
Alright.
gave him that title. So they gave him that title and they would if anyone big out of the state talked about Oregon, like his name was always like in the picture. And he had this nice house out south, and he just passed away, and now they're selling it. I think they're asking like 1.2 million or 1.4 million.
Jerry
But it's
Frank.
it's got a fucking indoor pool. Like, dude, this is a fucking bachelor pad.
Myron Frank, Jerry Frank. I had no idea.
Dude,
You check your phone if you want to see.
let me see.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna read this out.
Dude, I don't know what you guys talking about. Dude, a 2,000 kid telling us what.
Myron Frank was this like department store, right?
Yeah.
It's essentially Macy's.
Macy's.
It's
Like,
essentially Macy's.
It's the same thing as Macy's, right?
I think it was a little more upscale Macy's though.
Okay,
I think.
I know. I remember now. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Gary Frank, Salem's most famous citizen and more connected to the business, political, and civic roots of this community than anyone before him, died Sunday morning. He was 98 years old. Everyone knew Frank. If you didn't, you should have. He was a businessman and author, a philanthropist, and a champion of all things Salem, Oregon. He helped raise more than $500 million for various civic projects, nonprofit organizations. That's $500 million with a B, capital B, boy. He's probably touched every person in this community with his generosity. Barry
good.
Nelson of the Rotary Club of Salem once said, Frank was involved with so many activities and organizations. There's never been enough space to list them all the time in the Statesman Journal. He was a World War II veteran and a Cambridge
Wow.
University graduate.
Wow.
He was fourth generation Oregonian whose family founded the retail chain. Oh, no, never mind. I take it back. His family founded the retail chain, Meyer and Frank. he spearheaded the opening of his first branch store in Salem in 1955, which is what brought him to this community. Frank became a fixture of Oregon's politics in the U.S. He later became a judge. Dude, this guy's
That's an
done it all,
interesting
Damn.
bro.
Man,
fuck.
you should,
This guy's like, fuck,
it-
I only got one life.
it's,
Let's do it all.
too bad
Let's
he's
do it all.
dead. 'Cause
Let's
you
do
guys
it.
have
Let's
him
do
on
it
a
all.
podcast. That'd be amazing.
That article's like a book, man. You should just link it
Like,
in the description or something.
As
Also,
Cool, though.
I want to see where it says that I think he was named like the Bachelor of the Year multiple times. or
Hey,
something
I
like that.
believe it.
I didn't even
'Cause
know
at
that was
this
a
point,
thing.
he's done it.
No,
he's
he
done it
has,
all.
yeah, he's
I
like-
mean, I believe it. Like,
kids-
whatever he wants
I-
to do,
he
they'll
did.
be like,
I
name
will.
it.
I will say, every like teenager that's gone to Snowball.
yeah.
You remember Snowball?
Yeah, I remember Snowball.
I went to Snowball.
Shit.
Every kid that's gone to Snowball has also gone to, for the most part,
The Clark
the
Center.
the Candidarai to get some cake in their
Yep.
in their gowns and everything
Yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah.
That
Like
place is lethal.
the Candidarai.
Yeah, dude, it's lethal.
Yeah.
I went in there, got 7 pieces. Keep going.
Pieces of
Dang.
cake.
Look, I was coming off keto. It was a dark time.
Damn.
Well,
But-
yeah. Don't blame you.
But this
Keto's-
isn't about Gary Frank. This is about you.
Keto's the
Saint Chef
devil.
James.
Valley
so-
sandwich, let's
Valley
go.
sandwich, let's
No,
go.
you
All
shouldn't.
day. Lockdown burrito.
Lockdown burrito.
Lockdown burrito.
So you were saying, you Home Depot.
So I
couple
did
other
like Home
things.
Depot. I did like Mervin's and retail stuff. I was like really trying to get out of it. At the same time, I was also like, this is embarrassing, but I'll spill it. I
You're a
was,
male stripper.
worse. I thought I was gonna be a rock star, so I was
Okay.
in bands.
Okay.
Oh, at least you didn't dip to sell cell phones. It's okay.
No, I thought I was gonna be a rock star, so I was trying to be in bands, right? I've always been like kind of a performer, like out in front. Like I like entertaining,
Yeah.
and so I was in these not great bands that did some good stuff, right? And so trying to do that, and then paying the bills with retail.
Mm-hmm.
The rock star thing definitely did not work out as it shouldn't have for me.
What were
And-
you doing though? Were you the main lead or were you
For the in the band,
rocks- Yeah. Were you guitarist?
I was the
or-
vocalist,
Okay. Okay.
right? I'm pretty sure I've scrubbed the internet of any videos, so you probably won't find any of that.
Okay.
Because as I got older, I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Shit.
what did I do?
Yeah.
Anyway, and then I ended up going to school, like Shemakita, getting my associates. What was that?
In what?
Nothing.
Oh.
Really, there's really nothing.
Come on,
you just get your
Juanito.
associates, and like, I was probably arts
Okay.
because I was like, I don't want to get too much into math and science and stuff. So let's see, AA, right? Like, you just get that.
So following Alan's footsteps.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So
Math was in our
did
forte.
that, but at the time I was already married, I had kids. But at the same time, I kind of like stumbled into acting.
Oh shit.
There was a dude that like was writing a screenplay, and there's a lot of weird stories around that. But I ended up like auditioning and trying to like do acting because I did something in high school, like on plays and stuff. And this was film, and like in that days, like independent films was like the big thing, right? Like it was prior to the Avengers and all that stuff. Like the big thing for film was like indie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's all these dudes trying to do indie films and trying to like make the next like Memento or whatever. Did you ever see Memento?
No.
Really great film. Really good old school indie film. Anyway, so I kind of fell into that, and then I was like, oh man, this is a cool like outlet for creativity and like stupid accents and like trying to be like, somebody else. And I did. So I really kind of focused on that, like I was trying to like, there's restaurants, and there was like food carts and stuff that I was trying to buy or trying to get involved in. It never worked. None of it ever worked out. In the meantime, I was also trying to like explore this particular aspect of, performing, and the, I got into this film thing, and it was all like independent, nobody films, like never gonna get seen or never gonna do anything. But at the same time, like in that period, like we were talking about, there was, Portland had a lot of like Hollywood money coming in. So there was a lot of opportunity for like people to audition and do stuff, right? Like Leverage is being filmed. I don't know if you ever heard of Leverage. It was this TV show on TNT, like this cable network back in the day.
Dude, yeah.
And it was pretty popular at the time. So, but like in Portland, there was all these people trying to. Give me a beer.
This is why you wanted him to throw a beer at you? You didn't even catch it.
Right out of the air.
He caught
You
it.
didn't even catch it.
Oh,
Dude,
You fumbled it.
He caught it like a girl.
You
with
literally
his
fumbled
legs.
it.
You gotta throw it right here.
Dude, we would have
He
lost
just put the.
Dude,
You
you
want
know,
me to
Dude,
okay,
do it again.
that was a
Do it
pretty
again.
good.
Dude,
No,
we would have
no,
lost. We would have lost the Super Bowl because of you, dude.
Hey,
know that.
I want you to throw it right here.
No, not above
No, 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 no.
You're
Not
gonna
above
drop
my
it.
head.
I want you to throw it right here.
Throw it right
Right
there,
here.
John.
You
Do
want
it.
back there?
Oh,
Dude, come
Joe
on.
Burrow in the house.
Come
Joe
on.
Burrow, Jamar Chase, right
Come
there.
on, let's
Holy
go.
Let's
shit,
go.
that
Did I tell
catch
you I
was
play football?
amazing.
No.
Nah, I was
Football,
too short,
soccer,
so I
soccer,
quit. I was
football.
like,
Damn.
hey, I played football for a bit. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm fast. I'm good, but I'm short. Nah, I'm good.
But I'm gonna focus on soccer.
Yeah, I'm focused on
Just go
soccer.
with soccer. You should have
Yeah.
gone receiver
No,
stuff,
no, no.
bro.
Honestly, I did play football. In middle school, I played football.
Lightweight.
Yeah. But I was good. I just didn't like it.
Where'd you play?
Stevens.
Adam Stevens?
Yeah. Adam
Oh,
Stevens.
right on. Yeah.
I didn't like it because I'm used to playing a sport
Where they
and
don't
then-
hit you.
and
You want
just
to kick
playing.
people.
No, and just playing and playing. Like
Yeah.
for an hour. This pause. You gotta pause. You gotta stop.
It's
you gotta
true.
stop. Pick up the ball. Oh wait, hold on. Let's stop. I'm like, what the fuck? I want to play, man. Why are we stopping?
Yeah.
That's the only reason, and obviously because I'm short, right? And
No.
Well, he is
But-
short.
It's
Hey.
not obvious. 'cause
Yeah,
you're
I think
short.
it's
Hey,
obvious.
but honestly, dude, I was
You-
good. I hold it down.
Yeah?
I hold it down. Yeah, I hold
Well,
it
I
down.
mean, it's interesting you say that because, like, definitely soccer is, or football.
Football.
I don't know what
Yeah.
should I say.
Whatever you
Soccer-
want. Whatever you
soccer-
want.
say
Fine.
soccer.
We know what you're
Soccer's
talking
fine.
about.
Soccer's fine.
Well,
Yeah.
Soccer for the wetos
Yeah,
around here. So,
yeah.
like, soccer is definitely, like, constantly going, right? Like, it's nonstop.
There you go.
Right.
Nonstop.
Football is all about, it's like chess.
Yes.
Like very strategic, and so it is very it can be very boring, I can see, for a lot of people
Yep.
who aren't like interested in not seeing just constant action.
There,
know what
I
I
think
mean?
that's
Like-
the thing. I wanted to just keep playing because they're like, hey, you're gonna. I didn't even know the positions. They're like, hey, you're fast, you're quick. Do you know how to do this? I'm gonna put you here. We're gonna do this play, and you just run, and you turn at this time, and this, and you just keep running. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, fuck yeah, I'm good at this shit. Boom, throws the ball, I run, and dude, boom, boom, boom. I go through players.
You ever get hit hard?
And then
I
you
got
gotta
hit
stop.
hard.
No,
No, I got hit hard, but it wasn't like.
No,
It-
do you ever get hit hard?
Yeah, it was hit hard, but that wasn't the reason why I didn't like it. It's just I want to play. I want to keep playing the
Yeah.
whole time.
that
I don't
makes
want to
sense.
stop. I want to be running, playing, shooting, everything for an hour long playing. I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, guys, so we got to huddle in. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on now? Oh, you got to do
Why
this.
can't we keep going?
Yeah, why can't we keep going, dude? I was doing good, I was like, oh, no, you dropped the ball. Like, oh, shit, whatever.
I was doing good, but you
Nice.
dropped the
No,
ball.
no. No, okay. Let me go back. I did good plays. and
You
then
never dropped the ball,
and
did
then
you? Or had
Yeah,
it?
sometimes I did,
Okay.
But Dude,
It
I
was
don't
the
know.
other guy's fault though.
It was the other guy's fault.
He didn't throw it
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
didn't throw it.
Bad quarterback.
There you go. I don't know. I just
He was-
it was too easy. It was not too easy, but I didn't get tired. You know,
Yeah.
Growing up as a sport, I wanted to get tired. I wanted to like run, fucking
Get
like
the stitch in your side.
you know,
and,
get
like,
this shit. I'm like, dude, I'm not tired, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? We gotta stop every 5 minutes or every 2 minutes?
yeah.
Nah, dude. I'm like, nah, quit.
Oh, I quit.
I get that. That's an interesting take on it
No,
for
no,
sure.
hey,
So, like,
but you know, I respect the sport. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
it just wasn't
that's-
for me. But yeah. But let's go back to.
I love our deviations. Like where we're
Yeah.
like getting off on like
no,
sidetracks.
hey,
like
no,
this
for
is
real
great.
though.
We're practicing.
We're practicing
Jorge,
what?
Jorge and I are practicing that.
Practicing what?
Yeah, because this is we've done this probably like 5-6 times, but we're trying not to hound our guest with questions, and we're trying to like
Yeah, but
also
you
be
c-
very involved in it. So this is a team sport here. He doesn't want to like drop the ball and then just be like, okay, it's your turn only. So
And
it's
then
like
we stop and
let
then
me
like
stop. Yeah,
think
so
about it.
he wants to make this a team sport. So
I don't want
so-
this to
I
be
like
an
it.
interview.
Yeah, you doesn't want this to be an interview.
I
Well,
love
so-
okay.
this. This is fun.
Okay,
though.
it is an interview, but you know.
But you
like-
But he
cut
doesn't
it-
wanna put too much
cut it
pressure
down
on
to
you.
whatever you want. So
Yeah.
like what it needs
it's
to be.
more of a. More of that.
It's a good. I love this. It's a good conversation. So
Yes, it is.
Hey, no, but let's go back because I forgot what were we talking about.
what were we talking
Yeah.
about?
So-
like, I like this. Where we're
Juanito,
like,
what were we talking about?
No, so he said.
We were to the story of him trying to invest in different.
Oh, businesses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
hey,
said.
that's what we pay him the big bucks. You already know.
I'm an unpaid
Hey,
So
intern.
invest?
hey.
No, I'm poor. I've always been poor. Trying to like get into other businesses or restaurants or food carts or anything like that. Like that was it. Just none of it ever worked out.
But you know what though? I think I respect that more, right? Because you're trying, you're doing this, you're doing that.
Yeah.
You know you're gonna fuck. You do this, you do that.
It's easy for people with a lot of money to
Mhm.
get into something, you know, because they can like, you know, just pour money into it, you know. But you know, we never had a lot, and so it was tough to get into like a restaurant that was established or get into a food truck or anything else. Like put that money out there and do that, you know, that it's like a big chunk for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it never worked out. It never really like there was times where we were like talking to people and trying to get stuff going, but it just never panned out. And then I think it was 2018, my brother, who had worked in restaurants for years and was working for a cider company in Oregon, like the second largest cider company in Oregon. They were opening a restaurant in Portland. And he was like, hey, man, you know, we're having a hard time finding a chef. Do you think you want to do it? Because he knew what I had done in the past. I was like, no, dude, I don't want to do this. I don't want to like for somebody else. And he kept talking to me about it. And then like, I remember I was like taking my son up for a dentist appointment up in Portland. And I told him, I was like, hey, I'm in Portland. You like, want to hang out for a little bit? And he's like, yeah, why don't you come by the new place? So I went by, and he's like, yeah, check this out. And this is like beautiful new space, brand new kitchen, brand new everything. And he's like, and like I didn't have a job at the time. And he was like, you want to like, what do you think, man? You want to like work here? You want to do something? And I was like, I don't know, man. This is pretty cool, but like, what about this and this and this? And he's like, oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
And he like talked to the owners of the cider company, and they're like, if you hire your own brother, you know, you might have to fire him. And he's like, yeah, that's not a problem, because that's how our family is. Like I'm not gonna let him down, and if I did let him down and he had to fire me, like I deserved it, you know.
He's like,
and
"This
there's
is the
not gonna be
best
any hard
part."
feelings about it. Like
He's like,
like-
we'll fire him and he won't even ask for unemployment.
that's how the family is. Like we're just like, yeah, like if I fuck up, then I deserve what I get. You know, we're not gonna like blame anybody else or do anything. So so the owners of the cider company hired me
For Portland.
in Portland,
Mhm.
but I was living in Salem at the time. Like, we had bought a house. My wife and I bought a house in like 2005 that we lived in, and so I was commuting up there. Developed the whole menu, did everything, did all this stuff for him, and then a little over a year later, they ended up shutting down the restaurant. It's a cider company, not a restaurant company, so and they had to like readjust some financial stuff. And then again, 2019. This is 2019. Like I'm doing nothing. I actually did some marketing stuff because I did do a little marketing stuff as well in the back in like for blog writing and social media management and whatnot.
Dude, you did it all.
He's
I did a lot of
A
shit.
man of
dude.
all trades.
Dude, you done what? You've been an actor, social media.
Well,
dude.
I try to be an actor.
Oh, hey.
Is the actor part after this or before this?
This is like in the midst of this.
Okay, so doing this. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll have to show you. Like I have. There's like I did a commercial for Widmer and the Blazers.
Oh,
Ooh, we got a big dog in the
okay.
house. Okay.
And I was like,
I see you.
it's funny because like this sounds way more glamorous than like what I'm about to say. Sounds way more glamorous than it is. So my agent.
You had an agent.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like I knew it. I knew it.
Hey,
Dude, anybody can get an agent. Like
We don't have
seriously.
one.
You
Hey,
can get one.
we got Juanito.
You
He's
got-
our
he's-
agent, yeah.
You can easily get it. So my agent
No, then
was
he's
like,
gonna ask for
"Hey
certain
man,"
percentages. Don't say
because
that.
like I'd like grow my hair out long, right? So like I got long hair. I don't think I've cut it short since then, but I got long hair, and he was like, "Dude, you should cut your hair and like try and be more like what everybody else had, like short hair and like
Yeah.
the leading man type of thing is what they're looking for." And I was like, "Nah, dude, like I don't want to do that because like if somebody needs a guy with long hair, I actually have it." Like honestly, like I knew like if I had long hair and a beard, any part that needed a long hair and a beard,
Yeah.
like I was gonna get. Whereas anything else, I had to audition and fight and struggle for, right? And sure enough, they needed a dude from the 70s for this like Widmer Blazers commercial because the Blazers won the championship in the 1970s. So they were like doing this like commercial about like the like Blazers in the 1970s. And so they needed a dude that looked like that. And I was like, "Oh, I got long hair and a beard." And so they're like, "Yeah, this guy. We'll just get this guy in here." I didn't have to audition. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. It really had nothing to do with talent.
Did you have a profile? Like, you know how they open up those folders and it has like a face picture of you?
Sure, yeah,
then,
you
like,
go on IMDb.
What are those called?
Like I don't know,
Portfolio.
You had a
Portfolio?
portfolio?
Good looking at one.
online.
Online portfolio?
So like I knew that they were like it didn't matter if I was actually good or not. Like I just looked enough like what they needed, and they hired me for it, right? So that was great. And then there was another one where they needed a pirate, and I had long hair and a beard, and they're like, "Yeah, this guy looks like a pirate. Let's get him in here." Like, put him in the background, and that's what I was.
Yeah.
But I got paid for it, and it was fine. And that's honestly like that was the end of that was the last stuff I did as far as acting goes, and that was the only thing I really cared about. Like, I don't want to be a actor. I don't really want to be a leading man. But if you need somebody that looks like me, you can pay me some money. Like that's
Bring me the bag.
like,
Yeah.
and
there
it
you
wasn't
go.
much.
Yeah.
Shit.
It wasn't a lot of money.
Yeah.
It was like
Hey, but respect for being out there. Basically, is we're being out there trying new stuff, trying this, trying that. You realize this ain't my shit. This ain't me.
yeah.
I ain't this. I'm a chef. So
That's really what it boiled down to. Like this is actually the only thing that I'm actually decent at.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't act real well.
Mhm.
I'm not a rock star
Yeah.
at all. Like, and there's honestly, like, I say all that, but there's like a 1,000 people my age that thought they were gonna be rock stars, and none of us are. Like, we're working at like Guitar Center or like You know, like none of us are that like we just didn't have that chance or that opportunity or whatever it is. You know, like there's some incredible musicians, incredible people out there that can do really well performances, can act really well, can do all those things. They just didn't get the opportunities. And that's just the way it goes.
Do you think that's because of the state we live in? Do you think that we have a lot of good talent, but maybe they just don't look at us just because
Small market.
It's a
I think
small
it's a small market. I think
In Oregon?
yeah.
Well, there's that, yeah, and like the market in Oregon has shrunk considerably. Like it was,
But back when you were saying it was a little bit bigger.
yeah. When it was bigger, it was as big as it was gonna get,
Mm.
right? So there was some dudes that that like went on and did really well and got like, they got like regular episodes on some of those TV shows, right? So they were like on there every other week, and they got the good paychecks, you know,
Mhm.
and that's awesome for them. But
Mhm.
that wasn't a common thing. But like everybody thought it could be them, you know, like everybody that was trying to like auditioning for it, and you know, like we all had these dreams, like like my character died in Grimm, and you're dreaming that they'll bring his twin brother back or something, you know, like something
Yeah.
ridiculous. But that was just the acting world, you know.
yeah,
which is-
exactly. Yeah, I mean,
Go
But
ahead.
it's not. It's like the acting world is not like that's not where I belong.
yeah, your colors were. I'm a chef. I'm gonna fucking do this and let's go.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and that like if anything, that's, and I'm not the most talented chef. I'm not the greatest chef. And none of that.
Yeah,
But I love food and I appreciate food, and that's really where I should have stuck with, and maybe and honestly I would be a lot better if I stuck with that and actually paid my dues,
mm-hmm.
which I didn't do because I was spoiled. You know, maybe I'd be a much better chef. I think I do all right though. Like,
So
we got good food.
I think that's where it's at though. Like, let me ask you this: your restaurant, the whole menu, is it from you?
Mostly.
Most of it, right?
Yeah.
But the way you run it, or the way I've seen, at least the menu or anything like that, it's dude, I mean, I forgot what I was gonna tell you, but I think it's being you, right? Being who you are, being what you think, what you like, and being genuine of who you are, basically, at the end of the day. And I feel like you've tried a few things here and there, and it didn't work out, but that's fine. I think a lot of times people don't try a lot of things, right? Dude, honestly, I forgot what I was going
I
to.
think
but
what you were going to is I think what you were trying to say was that you see how excited he is to do what he's doing. So I think um it was a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when one of your chefs went on vacation and
Mhm.
you were working in the afternoon,
In the evening.
in the
yeah.
evening there, and I went and I was by myself at that time, and I was looking at the menu and I was talking with you and I'm like, I don't know, I think I'm gonna try your quesadilla this time. And I hadn't seen the quesadilla. The quesadilla was new, and
Yeah.
then like you got hyped on it and you're like, yeah man, you're like, whatever you want man, I can add this, I can add that, like dude, just tell me what you want man, I'll add whatever the hell you want on it. And I was telling him, I'm like, dude, this guy was just so fucking excited about it. Like, this
Yeah,
guy
he
just wants to
did.
Yeah.
experiment. He like
Yeah.
wants to hype me up for me to be like, oh, dude, I never thought about this, but can we add this? And like, you were just that excited about it. You're like, dude, whatever the fuck you think, I'll try it. Like, I really just want to try whatever the fuck you want. You like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you could see that excitement. And I was telling
Yeah,
him
I
about
remember
that.
him telling me
But
that.
I
I
was
was
telling
like-
him about that, and then I didn't really think much of it. I didn't really think much of it. And then as I was telling him, he's like, dude, I could totally see it. I can see why he's so excited, and I can see how his food is. And then I told him, I'm like, dude, and I feel like I'm not trying to bash on anybody
No.
at all, but I'm like, dude, and the food just tasted like really, really well. I'm not saying that when you're not there, your food doesn't
Sure.
taste good, because
No,
it
no,
does.
no.
But what I was telling him was like, it just like it tastes good. Everything was good, and he's like, dude, it's his excitement. He's really excited. Like he just fucking
it's the passion.
it's the passion.
There is
It-
like and like I get excited about feeding people, right? Like I love it. I've always loved it. And really that goes beyond like me trying to be in restaurants or like retail or whatever. Like anytime anybody comes over to my house, like I want to feed them. I want them to eat something. I want them to feel good
The
about it.
Mexicans coming in out of
I love that about them
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
I want them to always
Taste your
have
flavor.
something
Yeah.
that's really good
Yeah.
to eat.
It's like,
Right?
yes.
You tell me the Mexicans
Yeah.
coming at me. I'm trying to do the accent. I can't do the
Yeah,
accent.
that was the
though, so-
Mexican.
That's
That was
Italian. Hey, that's like Italian though.
I don't know.
Hey,
Well,
it's
I watch a
Italian.
lot of
They're big
Argentinian
on food,
movies.
Argentinian movies? Oh, is that what you were
With the
talking last time?
Argentinian, the pollo.
Last
right?
time-
yeah,
last
the
ti-
pollo
yeah,
and
yeah.
Chavez, right?
Last time you were telling us about the World Cup, Haley, you were like, oh, Argentinians have a lot of similar with Italians and shit
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Like well, then they get the Asia as opposed to Ella.
Yeah,
Right?
Asia.
Anyway, no, dude. Like I love feeding people.
Mhm.
I love, like I can pretend to be pretentious, and like if you look at my menu, like I
Mhm.
got some stuff on there that's like, I'm gonna charge you this much money for this. It's all like, it's all a character. To
Yeah.
be honest, like the reality is like, if I can feed you and make
Mhm.
you happy, I'm gonna do that, and I love it.
And I think that's where being a chef is, because I think truly down at the end of the day, that's what being a chef.
I think so.
You wanna here. This is what I think. This is my craft. This is my work. This is my art.
Yeah,
know?
and really that is what it is, but there's a lot of chefs out there that think my art is the final say, or like I'm gonna be an artist. But the reality is like you're feeding people.
So I'm not a chef. I'm not a cook at all. My wife cooks. Shout out to my wife. But
All right.
I'm an artist, right? As an artist, I see. If I were to get into like being a chef, cooking, all of that, I would want to be like presentation on point, flavor on point, everything on point. Like whatever I
Yeah.
think, whatever I'm related to, I want you to feel what I feel, or like I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not explaining it right, right?
No,
But
I
like,
get it.
Here, I want you to have the taste that I want you to taste, right? And I think at the end of the day, it's a craft. It's an art, right? It's an artwork.
Yeah.
And he did tell me, he's like, hey, when I was there, Josh was like, hey, what do you want me to do? What do I do? Dude, hey, passionate, man. That's work. That is work right there.
There's a connection that you want to have
There
with,
you go.
with who you're feeding.
There
you know
you
what
go.
I mean? Like
yeah, there you go.
it's like grandmas. They want their kids, they want
Yep.
their grandkids to enjoy and to love what they're
And-
eating.
and-
You know what I mean?
And I feel like that is genuine. That is craft. That is art.
Yeah.
Like at the end
No,
of
it
the
is.
day, that is all like, hey, I want you to. This is what it is.
Yeah.
And if you nail it, like, got you. Like
And
that's what it is.
And it's even more so like, hey, I made this, you need to like it.
yes.
There's that, right? Like you got people that are like that, like I'm a genius, you need to eat this and you need to like it, and if you don't, you're an idiot. Like there's those people like that, but at the same, like for me, and I play that part. I really do. Like I have the like $3 charge if you want to take the mushrooms off the shiitake thing. Like I play that. But at the same time, like if somebody's like, man, I really want this, and they talk to me and they have a conversation with me, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna make you I'm gonna make you something that you like.
I got you.
I it's exactly right.
Yeah.
Like I got you. I'm gonna take care of you.
Yep.
And that's really what food.
But that tells a lot about a chef, though. Like if someone translates that to you, you already know.
Yeah.
That tells you, no, he knows.
Well, you got chefs that are like all about themselves, and you got chefs that are all about feeding people.
And that's the thing. When he translated that to me, I was like, he knows.
Yeah.
We got Kentucky, Pacifico.
We got to take care of you. Like, what do you like? What can I do for you? ¿Dónde están las llaves?
Oh, ahí están.
They're on the table.
Oh.
They're on the table.
I go after
They're
you.
right next to the beer cans.
John, give me the keys.
No, they're right there on the table. Second table.
Besides the table?
Ah, I got it. Broke the seal.
No, Jorge broke that a long time ago. Do you think I have an accent?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little
You
bit.
can tell that your first language was not
English.
purely English.
Okay.
But you can
Yeah, I
also
mean,
tell
like,
that you grew up with it early.
Like, yeah, I wouldn't say like a thick accent at
Got
all.
a little bit of an accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
An
know.
accent's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
An accent just says means you've had different
Accents,
experiences.
accents are sexy to a lot of people.
I haven't run into a person that thinks my accent is sexy, but maybe
No?
one day. No,
Us, Kayla. She
No.
won't
He's
tell
not
you.
she won't tell
a
me that.
Spanish accent.
Yeah, this is for sure not going on.
I mean, it works for you. You got, making more happy.
It's
So
funny.
to him.
It's funny because like people with accents are almost always like immediately a celebrity. Like if it's like a unfamiliar accent,
Mm.
like if it's a British accent, like
Do you think we can go to Great Britain and be famous because of our accents?
yeah,
You think so?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
There's
you go
probably
to
not a
Great
lot of
Britain, you have your accent. People are like, oh, hello.
I don't think you realize, dude, that all over the world, especially France, England, and Portugal, and all those places in Europe, dude, they love Mexicans, way.
Yeah.
The thing is that
Way?
yeah,
Love
Is
that.
it really?
Like,
the
Yeah,
thing is in
right.
the U.S. It's different because the U.S. lives in a bubble, right? The U.S. thinks it's just them.
It's normal.
It's just them and it's normal. But when you go anywhere in Europe, Japan, China, anywhere, dude, Mexicans or Mexico is visited and people want to know about the Mexican culture. The difference is when you're first generation and you grew up here, people are like, oh, Mexico's down here, right? Mexico's
So
just
many
there." It's
Mexican
just
accents,
so many
though.
Mexicans, right?
Yeah.
But
There's a lot.
all these European countries,
Just
fool,
different Spanishes too.
and all this, you learn this because I watch a lot of soccer and it's international, right? Something about the U.S. Their sports are not international. It's all in the same bubble.
Yeah.
Any sport in soccer, dude, it's international. So throughout your life, you're gonna realize what it is, right?
Well, there's like all kinds of accents, like you're saying, and like in the Spanish world,
Oh,
right?
dude,
Like so you can
Spanish
hear the
world.
Colombian, you can hear like
Venezuelan, everything, dude.
like Argentinian,
yeah.
especially with their well, donde están las
Italian,
llaves?
yeah.
Like they
Boludo,
get the
like Javes, que miras bobo, like shit like that,
Yeah.
like
and then well, as we were saying, like accents though give you an automatic celebrity in a lot of places, like if certain accents.
the thing is, Mexicans don't think they have an accent when speaking Spanish or English, right? But more Spanish.
That's what we were
but-
talking about before you walked.
But
in.
there's so many Mexican accents, right? You
But
got
the thing
like
is, I've been
Oaxaca,
to-
you got like Chilangos, you got like all kinds of other
I've
people
been
that are
to
like
the East Coast. East Coast, not a lot of Mexicans. There is some, not a lot.
no.
I did a lot of Uber. When I visited Miami, Florida, whatever. Uber, like, hey, you Mexican? I was like, yeah. Oh, where are you from? Like, what part of Mexico? And like, people get excited.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm from Oregon. Oh, what? The forest? They call it the forest.
The forest.
No,
The forest?
Yeah.
The redwoods.
Yeah, the forest.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, well, yeah, It's like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm like,
Hey, how about that? How about that one time when they thought you were Asian?
They always think I'm Asian.
You
Anytime I
wearing
wear a
no-
hat, or
You weren't
or
wearing a
beanie-
hat.
No, every time I wear a hat or a beanie, yeah.
You weren't wearing a beanie
Okay,
either.
maybe that time I wasn't. But point aside, like the Hispanic community is like, oh, you Mexican? I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, what's this? Like, how do you know? I was like, oh, your accent. I'm like, for as a Mexican speaking Spanish, I'm like, what accent? Like your accent. I was like, I got no accent. You got an accent. And they're like, I don't got an accent. You got an accent. I'm like, no, I don't. Because at the end of the day, for Mexican being at the northern side for the last speaking Spanish country,
Mhm.
anybody below has an accent, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're from Guatemala, El Salvador, Panama, Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, Argentina, Chile. There's so many of them, right?
Yeah.
And so anybody, we could tell you're not Mexican because of the majority are Mexican in the West Coast, right? So you're Mexican if you don't speak like they have the accent as a Mexican, right? So they were telling me, oh, you Mexican? I was like, yeah. They're like, oh yeah. I'm like, how do you know? I was like, oh, your accent. I'm like, bro, I don't have an accent. You have an accent. It never ends, right? It's funny. So
well, then people up here, like if anybody has a slightly Spanish accent, they think they're from Mexico.
Mexico, yeah.
Like they could be from Colombia, they could be from Uruguay, they could be from wherever.
So
and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're Mexican." Like
the funny part was I couldn't understand their Spanish because their Spanish is it's just so it's so different. When you hear Spanish is so different. I'm sure English is the same because we're like, okay, we're doing Uber. I don't understand what she's saying. Like it's just hard. Then we get someone in English, but this guy's Jamaican. They speak English, but dude, it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is he saying? I speak English, but what is he saying? It's so hard. It's like
well, you know, like
man,
Australians,
like,
they get all like, "Oh, we got
yeah, exactly." Jamaican, I'm like, dude, I know English, dude. I don't understand his English. Dude, it's like so fucking tough. I don't know how to explain it, but
I get it.
It was wild. It was wild. It's the same thing as Spanish. It's the same thing as English, right?
No, I totally get it.
Australians or Jamaicans or Trinidad
well,
Tobago.
you know, English and Spanish are the most spoken languages in the. Well,
I think Spanish is like third or fourth.
Like you got
English,
English,
French,
Mandarin.
Chinese, Mandarin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, but,
Mandarin.
like,
Mandarin
Spanish.
is second.
like Chinese might be like the most spoken language per person. I don't know.
But it's
like
because they got billions.
Yes.
They have,
Yeah.
7 languages in China.
Well, they do. They then they have like different
It's like the
dialects,
Mandarin
right?
or
Gong
Mandarin's the
Tong
most
and
famous
yeah,
one. Yeah.
Mandarin and stuff. But like Spanish and English are definitely some of the most spoken languages.
I think
in
the most
world.
common if you go like you go to Europe, South
world.
America, North America, Asia, even Asia. I mean, a lot of times Asians have the English. You know, they have the Asian, but the English signs. You know, for like
Yeah.
the public. So.
So how did your story progress to getting your business?
Oh yeah, let's go back to that.
Oh God,
We need
I love our
on-
digressions
on tracker.
and all this. So, yeah. So after the cider company, I was doing some marketing stuff for a blockchain.
You're a crypto billionaire?
What?
You're a crypto billionaire too?
No. I was a crypto thousandaire for a little bit, and then everything tanked. But so this sandwich shop popped up for sale, and I was like, oh, I think we could do that. And so like we pulled some equity out and went to buy it. But at the same time, like COVID was happening. But back then it was like, oh, you know, like
What-
2
what-
week, 2
what year
weeks,
was it?
2020.
2020?
Yeah. So back then, like, you know, 2 weeks to flatten the curve, you know, all that stuff. Nobody knew what was going to happen. Nobody knew how things were going to progress. So we'd already put money into the restaurant, and we had like no like all the PPP money. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. Like the government funding, we got none of that. So I opened this restaurant without any form of government backing or anything because we started late.
You're too new.
Yeah, we were too new. So it was a matter of like, well, shit, I got to just do this. I just got to work and try and make this happen. Fortunately, like sandwiches are kind of conducive to go items. So it was easy for people to like wrap their head around like, oh, we can just order this to go. Unfortunately for a lot of restaurants out there, like they just couldn't adapt to the to go type of thing, right? Like you got pasta places or whatever that just people expect to go sit down and
You capitalized.
yeah, we did the best we could
yeah.
for sure. Like it was definitely a struggle because like people aren't eating out, people are scared, people don't know what to do. But I didn't really have a choice. Like I had pulled the money out of our home and was like, we got to make this work. Like that's it. We have to like.
Do you remember what month you started looking into like seriously buying this place?
So it was like February,
Of 2020, like
2020.
right before
like
COVID.
right when it
Like
was
the
all
month
happening.
before
Yeah, like
COVID.
and that's when I started pulling money out. So it was like right in the middle of everything that was happening. And yeah, we like pulled the
What's
money out of our home and put it down, and we're
Didn't
like,
look back,
we just got to go.
what's going through your head? Like your wife's like, hey, don't do this, or do whatever
Yeah,
makes
she
you
kinda
happy.
was.
Do whatever makes you happy. You're like, you
Well,
know what? I got you. Like I believe in this. This is
like-
gonna work.
Like we didn't think that like it was gonna last so long,
Mhm.
right? Like we didn't think it was gonna continue on, and like honestly, my wife is like really a grounding factor. Like she is, like I'm a dreamer, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna like everything for me is gonna be like the best thing in the world. It's all gonna work, right? Like, but she's a realist. So we really balance each other out, which is great. But you know, she had her skepticism about it. I was extremely optimistic about it, more so than I should have been. And nowadays when we talk about it, she's like, "You've done a lot better than I thought was gonna happen."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, I'm doing worse than I thought was gonna happen." So we kind of meet in the middle with that
Yeah.
sort of thing. Like, yeah, she was like, "Hey, I'll support you with whatever." I mean, she's always been extremely supportive.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's been a tough road getting to where we're at. We last year we moved from our old location to our new location, and that like, you know, like I had to build the whole space out. I had to like build the bar. Like
You did that yourself?
I built the bar myself.
Dang.
What do you mean the bar? Like you're.
So where you guys come and sit,
Okay.
like I framed that out myself. Like
okay.
while the other restaurant was running,
Mhm.
and while I'm continuing to get that keeping going.
So all right. So let me go back. You were in, what is it called? Pringle Plaza.
Pringle Park Plaza, yeah.
Pringle Park Plaza. You were there. How long were you there?
Just over 2 years.
Over 2 years.
Just over 2 years, yeah.
This place. How do you find this new place?
Well, I had been kind of watching it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't shut your phone off?
Dude.
Dude, it's my
Jeez.
fucking
Dude,
dad, dude.
hey.
How dare my dad call me?
Crikey.
Dude, tell your. Hey.
Dude, it's my watch.
No, hey.
It's my watch.
Hey.
I'll just add it to the list.
Hey.
No
It's
mames.
okay, dude. Tell your girl that Fridays is your night, dude. That's the only.
It's my dad. It's my dad. I
That's what.
promise.
That's what we
Jesus
call it
Christ.
nowadays. That's what we call it nowadays.
Jesus Christ.
I
I forgot the airplane.
That's what we call it nowadays.
I didn't know I had an airplane in my watch. I forgot my watch had service.
My
My
bad.
bad.
Hey,
My bad.
Shut up. Hey, my bad.
My bad.
He's gonna go home right now.
No mames.
Yeah.
There you go. No, so I guess going back. So Pringle Plaza, you were there.
Two over 2 years.
just over 2 years. And then like I was looking at this place, and I messaged the owners for Gov Cup.
Mhm.
They
I was like-
posted it, or how did you know?
Nobody posted anything.
Mhm.
There was no posting at all. Like, and but I saw that it was vacant, and I was like, "Hey guys, what's going on with you? Who's your landlord?" And they're like, "Well, we're looking at buying it."
Those were the people that were in there.
So no, the Governor's Cup, which is right next door.
It's right next door.
Coffee shop?
The coffee shop.
Mm.
been there
Literally
forever.
Right there, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
I've never
So-
been there, but yeah, I know.
So I talked to them a little bit, and then I didn't hear anything. That was at the beginning of the year, and then beginning of 2022. Didn't hear anything. I saw it was still vacant. I messaged them, and he was like, "Hey man, like here's the landlord's number. We're not doing anything with it." So I messaged the landlord, and I was like, "Hey, I know you got this spot. You want to lease it out? Like, what's the deal?" And then when I called the lady, I actually called her, and she was like grocery shopping in Arizona or something.
The snowbird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she like gave me her husband's emailed him. He got me all hooked up, and then like I really wanted it in the space because it had a really good hood
Mm-hmm.
because like the old space at Pringle Plaza, like did not have a good ventilation system at all. So like everything we were doing would smoke out the place. It would get like all smoky, and we'd have to open the doors, and it was like not fun,
Mm-hmm.
not great. I loved the spot because it was like small and intimate, and like anybody that came to us for our food, right? They weren't coming there because they were passing by.
Mm-hmm.
Like they came to us for us. But the new spot like had great ventilation. Not It was a little bit bigger, but at the same time I'm like, this is a much better location. So we got in there. I had 2 months to build the place out. I built it out, did all the painting, did everything myself while I was also running the other spot. And then I think we closed down the other spot for like we closed down for like less than a week, maybe a week, and then we opened up the new spot. And then it was like another month or so before we got our liquor license, and that's when we opened up late.
Yeah.
Did you guys have your liquor's license at the other spot?
We did, but it doesn't transfer.
Mm.
So I like contacted the OLCC, and I was like, hey, we're moving locations. And they said, well, you need to put in a whole entirely new application for the thing. I'm like, so I literally have to like fill out the same paperwork that I did before that has all the exact same information, background check, everything. I have to fill all that out again. And then the only thing that's changing is the address, and you guys have to go through the whole process. And yeah, that's how it worked. It was kind of dumb.
So what made you like, hey, I want to go to downtown? Like you were in Pringle Plaza. It's considered downtown, but what made you want to move down here?
Well, I mean, the location was way better.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you're right in the middle of downtown. Like we could actually have a bar, and it makes more sense, right?
So you didn't have a bar over there, but
we did. We had our liquor
kinda-
license.
Okay.
We had beer and wine.
Okay.
But like it was such a weird spot.
Mhm.
Like nobody's gonna come there to go have drinks. Like
To be honest, yeah, I never.
That's hard
really-
parking right
yeah.
there.
yeah.
unless
Well, we
it's-
had the parking complex.
No,
but
they have the parking complex.
But they're not gonna park and then want to walk all the way, dude. I
No,
hate going
they
to the
will.
Italian
They
restaurant
will.
that's
They
next
will.
door and then having to park up
They
there.
will.
dude, here's the thing. Like you park, you get in the elevator, and you're right at our front
Yeah,
door.
honestly, you will. You will.
It
It's
was
just-
the easiest
it's
thing,
just-
but at the same time, like that was nobody realized that,
Dude,
and nobody understood that.
We've never gone to Marco. We went to Marco talking about Snowball. We went to Marco Polo
Right?
once for Snowball, and then we've never
As
been.
a kid right here.
Yeah, and then that was like back in
Shit.
2011, and we've never gone back again. Why? Because it's just like rough parking.
Hey,
parking is
honestly,
pretty
like
rough.
I don't go there. Like we try to go there, like the pizza place, the border.
That's different though. That's
Isn't that the same area?
no, because it is kind of, but that's like behind it. They have their own parking,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
right there.
this place
That's
does.
different.
So you basically emailed the owner or whatever, whoever it is, called
Mhm.
them until you got the spot.
Email.
Yeah, and they
Emailed.
were like, yeah, they ran me through some stuff to like make sure that I was legit, which is fair.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
And yeah, they were like, all right, well, here's the lease, and we signed it, and it wasn't that much more than what we were paying at Pringle.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we got into the space, they gave me 2 months to get it. They gave me 2 months free essentially
Mm-hmm.
to get it to the
To your
operating point,
standards, yeah.
right? So I had to like
Paint, you
Paint.
said. Build a bar.
build a bar because there was no bar there. Like the bar that's there now wasn't there at all. There was nothing like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
I never went in there before this.
Yeah, so like where you guys sit,
Yeah.
there like that bar didn't exist. I framed it out.
We don't sit at the bar. We go there to eat.
You
Good,
what?
good sandwiches. We
Yeah.
there
we
for
go
the
there and
sandwiches.
eat.
Yeah, you guys never eat
Yeah,
drink beer
yeah.
I
there.
never drink beer.
Yeah,
I didn't even know you
You
had
guys
beer.
should try some
I'm
of the
happy
beer.
that you have a liquor's license, but
Yeah.
we
Yeah, we
usually
You
just
go
guys
to
should try some
Sandwich.
beer
We
there.
just go to eat. You know,
Sometimes.
hey, shout out to my wife.
There's some tequila there too. You should try
Oh,
that as
shit.
well.
You guys have tequila?
We do.
What?
Why no?
I didn't know, man. I thought we
That's
just
crazy.
lockdown burrito.
What a
That's all I went for.
I would,
Teetotalers here.
Hey, the torta, cubano torta, whatever you guys.
You know,
got,
I really want to
yeah.
do a pambazo sometime.
Oh, dude. Hey,
Right?
dude, Pambazo. Hey.
There's only two
My
places
boy,
in town.
right here.
There's only two places in town that does a
Hey.
pambazo that I know of. There's the La Panditas Express,
Oh, yeah.
and then there's a place over by Walmart on Lancaster.
Oh, yeah. Nah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Who
I know
else
what you're
does the
talking about.
Pambazo?
Yeah. Hey, you want Pambazo? Come to Valiant Sandwich. Let's go.
no, he was just saying.
well,
they-
no
he was
shit, now I
saying
need to
he
do
was
one.
saying they
No,
had
for
one.
reals. Like,
He was saying they had one, but he said that they're kind of.
Hey, honestly, they're okay, man.
I've made pambazo for myself at Valiant.
Hey, get
but-
Bombazo, Valiant Sandwich.
Let's go.
All my
Hey,
hey, all
el
my
shit.
people.
El podcast Pambazo.
Hey, Pocket
Woo.
Bombazo. Hey, all my people, go down there, man. Yeah, that's it.
Well, now I need to make a pambazo.
Yeah, you gotta put
pambazo.
our name on the menu too,
no
dude.
pressure. Let's
Oh,
go.
no mames. Okay.
Hey, honestly, so I'll tell you something. There's not a lot of places that do that. They don't do
Pambazo?
Bombazo. They don't.
No.
They don't. Like a lot of places, tacos, tortas, this shit, enchiladas. Like they don't know bombazos. Bombazos is something else.
But
Oh
it's
my
hard,
gosh.
It's hard to keep making, I would think, right? Like mass producing a pambazo because of all the oil.
You gotta have
and-
the you gotta have the salsa, the guajillo,
Salsa.
the guajillo salsa
Yeah.
for sure. Like and it like oh chinga la madre. So you gotta
Don't worry
have
about it. Don't worry
That's
about it.
very good, dude.
you gotta have the like vat of the guajillo
Yeah.
salsa, you know, to dip it in and then like grill it and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little process, but it wouldn't be that hard. You know,
it's
like
not hard, man.
but a
honestly.
good pambazo,
Bombazo,
Fire.
dude. Hey, that's just fire, man.
That's fire.
Like,
right?
there's different types, but honestly, they're always good.
Like the
always
OG,
good.
right? Like
They're
you got
always
the
good,
you
yeah.
got the potato and you got the
Yeah.
like the chorizo,
Yeah,
Queso
there you
fresco.
go.
right?
Dude, I was like the first dude. Hey, I'm Mexican, and the first time I tried it was like probably like what, like 3-4 years ago. I was like, what the fuck is this? And she's like, oh, bombazo. I was like, what the fuck? I
Yeah.
was like, South Salem, you know. I was
Is
like,
a pambazo Mexican?
yeah.
Is it?
Well, as far as I got introduced by Mexicans, so I was like,
Well, I got
okay.
introduced to everything by Mexicans, but it doesn't mean
It's
they're
like,
Mexican.
oh, it's like from Cruz, the Gulf, Mexico. What
It's
do you
from
call it?
Veracruz?
Veracruz. What? That's what she
That's
told
where it
me.
originated?
I don't know. The Gulf of Mexico, right? They're like, oh,
I don't
bombazo,
know.
whatever. I don't know.
It's
I
so
was like-
good though.
I was like, what the fuck is this? He's like, oh, bombazo, bye. I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay, you know. And then ever since then, I tried 2 different bombazos, but they're not the same as I tried it from that person. The person is from Veracruz, so it's the Gulf of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
The other people I tried it from, they're not from Veracruz. They're from like just the middle Mexico, north of Mexico,
Central,
just typical
north,
Mexico,
yeah.
right?
Typical Mexico.
No, it's because the little Gulf of Mexico is different. That
Yeah.
has so much. That
You
has
talking about
so
like
much history.
you talking about like
It's the Gulf of Mexico. It's like so much history, like
Quintana
Veracruz,
Roo?
Quintana Roo, like
Yeah.
all that shit. Like they have so much history because a lot of the times, if they were gonna get it, that's a different story. But if they were gonna get attacked from like different countries, they go
Mhm.
from that coast, right?
Yeah.
That's the only way they enter. But a lot of history, Quintana Roo, Veracruz, dude, that's something else. I tried different bombazos. I was like,
Caramaco.
Cuernavaca, yeah. I was like, I don't know, man. Like these are good, but they're okay. They're not the top I tried from this person. It's a Veracruz though. Yeah, it's something else.
Pambazo.
Pambazos.
Amazing.
Pambazos.
Hey, name it what do you
Valiant
want? Hey, no, name it no. Name it El Podcast Salem Bombazo. You know.
Podcast Salem Pambazo. Let's fucking
Are you
go.
surprised that I know that Pambazo?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
surprised. I'm impressed.
Dude, you gotta.
I'm surprised.
Dude,
Dude.
I told you
I'm
I want to be
surprised.
Mexican.
Hey,
Damn.
there's different types, dude. The one I tried is from the Gulf Coast. Like
Yeah.
that one's the best.
Bizcocho coming in clutch right
Hey.
now.
Bizcocho.
Hey. Nah. For real though, it's
All right.
It's all love though. It's good though. Yeah.
So then you ended up going through that. You ended up building your own bar. You ended up painting all the. I mean, there's a lot more than
Going
just
through the-
building a
you know,
wall.
yeah,
You
building a
did-
restaurant,
You did
yeah.
all of that. Before that, when you were at your first building, how hard was it for you to buy the business and completely like make it your own business, how hard was it?
I mean, really, that wasn't that hard.
It wasn't from like not
honestly,
owning a business
like,
at all to that.
So the guy that I bought it from, who is still a business partner
Okay.
for Valiant,
Mhm.
he is still part owner of Valiant, and he was like one of the coolest dudes ever. Like, he believed in me, he believed in what we were doing, and he like,
Dude.
you know, he
Dude.
put himself into that. You know, like he really like invested in what we were doing. So like that part was so that part wasn't hard, like with him,
Because
like,
he helped you out through.
because he helped by like
Is he the manager or owner of that section of the building?
he's really a silent partner.
Okay, good.
Like, he doesn't do very much
Yeah.
with anything, but he is he believed in what we were doing.
But did he have a previous background in restaurants?
He did.
A big background
And
in restaurants?
he actually owned like the sandwich shop that I bought.
Yes.
He owned
And
before
operated.
us and operated it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got a very good background in this. So he was a
and
very
he's-
good person to like help you out with this.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Like he really has been hands off for
Mhm.
most of it and trusted me with the menu and everything that we're doing. But yeah, he's an awesome dude. Like he's got his other ventures and other things that he's doing. But he's always been very supportive.
That speaks volumes about people. You know, honestly, like supportive and all of that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I maybe not know how to explain it right now, but that is big, right? Especially for an entrepreneur or anybody that's trying to start a business. Like, the trust, the thing they give you, like, hey, you know what? This is what it is. It's all the little small things that people don't realize what it takes to be there.
yeah.
I think that counts. And as an owner, like for yourself,
It's huge.
That's huge, right? It's just like, hey, he trusted in me. I got to perform. This is what it is, right?
Yeah, and it creates a different bond.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, this guy like put his money and his time and energy and everything into what I'm doing. I better freaking like reciprocate.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Unless you're an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm an asshole, but I want to do what I can for him and like pay him back in spades for his trust in what we're doing.
And I think people like that see that. And
I hope
think,
so.
Yeah, no, and I think they do, and that's why they give you the opportunity and all that. And I think at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I got you. You know.
Yeah, and he always has.
Yeah.
Like he's a good dude.
It's that thing, right? It goes back to the people that showed you, like, hey, do you know how to do this? No. Yeah, I do know how to do that. Whether you know or not, it's life is crazy, right? And it goes back to that moment of someone teaching you, right?
Yeah.
And someone teaching you is like this, but maybe they can't see the other side, but you can, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes you not better, but a different person. It makes you see something
it makes
different.
you a better version of yourself.
There you go. And I think that's what a lot of times people don't see, and I think that's it's important. When you said that, I was like, this guy knew what he was doing.
No,
this
he
guy
did.
knew exactly what he was doing. This guy knew what he was molding. This guy knew everything, and he just came up to you. And honestly, it comes down to now, you know. And Valiant Sandwich, lockdown burrito. Let's go. No, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say. Like it goes back down. It goes down to what you are now, right?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, you were where you're at. Maybe yes or no, but that showed you a lot.
There's
the
somebody
little
that believed in me and believed in what we could do.
There you go. It's the little things, the subtle things. It's all these little things, and I'm a big believer in that. I'm a big believer in that because sometimes people don't understand what it is until someone points it out, right?
It's a great way to like highlight other people lifting other people
There
up.
you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I could have all the same ideas and do all the same things that I do, right? Like with food. have the same sandwiches, all that stuff. But if there wasn't somebody there to help lift me up and get me to that point, I wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you know, Valiant has a decent reputation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people like us. A lot of people like what we do. And I've worked very hard for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not going to deny that, or I'm not going to like say that hasn't been part of my hard work. But if it wasn't for my partner who believed in me and
Mhm.
helped give me that boost, that wouldn't exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about like how much different people need each other to
Mhm.
help
For sure.
Yeah, I could.
grow. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
I can
or
tell
to,
you what.
to
You know.
exist.
Yeah, I can tell you from us, from our perspective. Like, honestly, man, your food is good.
I
Like,
appreciate that.
I've been
Thank you
there.
very much.
Been there with my wife in the morning, breakfast. I look at the menu like, hey, what am I gonna try now?
I
I'm
appreciate
gonna
that.
try this. Hey, this sounds interesting. Let's do this. Let's do that. In the evening, whatever it is, you know,
Yeah.
from us, from our Latino community or whatever it is, I tell people, hey, try that place out, man. It's good.
I appreciate that.
It's good. This person knows what they're doing. But yeah.
You know, I did a lot of like early on. It was like my main sandwich bread was bolillos.
Yeah, Bolillo.
Yeah.
Dude, when I saw that, I was like, okay. I see this. I see you. I see you.
But the bolillo, here's the thing with bolillos.
Yeah.
Like really good bolillos, they go bad really fast.
They do.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why Mexicans go first thing in the morning.
Yeah, first thing in the morning.
Mexicans go first thing in the
Yeah.
morning because
Like-
if not, they get hard by at night.
And
Do
by
you-
nighttime,
They're hard.
Yeah.
And then they're no good no more.
So
no, it's 100% true.
yeah, if you could adapt it in the morning, that's literally what it is. Like every time you go to like a panaderia, like panaderia is like a Mexican like bread place,
Yeah.
right? Hey, bolillo, it's in the morning. It's like warm.
Oh my
Warm,
gosh,
soft.
dude,
Boom,
like,
soft.
I can eat,
It's
dude,
like anybody.
dude, like the bolillos with the jalapenos
yeah.
and the cream cheese. That's
yeah.
my breakfast
yeah,
every day.
Exactly.
I freaking love that.
So if you could relate that anywhere, it's just it's what it
Yeah.
is, right? You got best of both worlds. That's it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
What do you think was the hardest part of this trip from buying the first shop to moving to the second shop? What do you think the hardest part of this was?
Well, since we're being all honest and everything, I'm all about hard work. Like I love working. I can work hard all day long. I can, do everything 12 hours a day, 13, 14. I can do it all. The hardest part for me personally, is that what's interest? Is that the question?
Hmm.
Okay, so
Well,
the hardest
it
part,
doesn't have to be work related, but I mean like you are very involved in the cooking portion of this, the
Sure.
chef portion of this, right? But like maybe something that wasn't cooking related, like maybe like business
my
portion,
family.
work life balance.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Like
That's a very interesting topic to me. So how do you balance that work life balance as being
I don't
a
know,
business
man.
owner?
to be
You
honest,
still
like,
trying to figure it out?
yeah, 100%. Like, still trying to figure that out. There's a huge desire for me to be home with my family as much as I can. Like, I really just like my daughter is gonna be 11, 12. Like, my only girl.
Mm.
And maybe this isn't PC or whatever. I don't know, but like, that's my baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need to be there for her, as she's growing up. My boys as well, for sure, 100%.
It's different though, isn't it?
But fuck yeah, it is,
Yeah.
dude. Like having a daughter, like I need to, and I've never been like that. I was never like that before I had a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was never like, oh, boys and girls and this and that and whatever. It was never like that. But like,
But there's a difference.
as soon as I like discovered that I was having a daughter, there was a weird switch that happened, and I'm like, oh fuck, I get it. Things are different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and she was my second, right? So I already had a kid, I already had a boy. But there was very, and I think it's a biological thing, you know, like as a man having a daughter, like you gotta protect this really precious, uh, you know, thing.
It's different. My daughter's 12 years old, and
Oh, right around the same age as Pearl. Yeah.
I understand, right? Every age is different, right?
Yeah.
It's honestly like if I look back, in I'm like 1 year old, 2 year olds, 3 year old, 4, 5, 6, and you're like, okay. It's different. Like I feel like every year I say the same thing. Oh man, this year's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I've heard some different things from you this year, though.
No, no.
I've heard some different things from you this year.
But I think
This year was the first year. This year was the first year.
But this year is the first year that it'd be like, I know more than you, Dad. I'm like,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
He's
Right?
like, dude, I can't tell her shit no more, dude. Like, she'll say something and be like, fuck, you're right. Like,
Yeah, no, that's because
Yeah.
that's the thing, and I don't see it as bad. I see it as a proud moment because for me, I see it
Sure.
like
me too.
I see it as like, yeah,
I tell you right.
I tell you right. It's like it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, you're at a point where you're. I feel like what I've always taught you, you are what you are.
Yeah.
You are smarter than me at this point when I was your age.
She's an individual. She's
Individual.
a whole different
At your
person.
age, you know more than me.
And it should be like that every
and I feel like
generation.
in that point, I'm like, I laugh. I'm like, damn. I like that. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. But I'm like, whoa, what have I created? But
Yeah.
it's good though. It's
No, it
honestly
is.
it's good because, you know, growing up, I was like, you know, I
It's
drive
tough though. It's your baby girl though.
baby girl, but you know, I don't think I struggle. I don't struggle too much. Honestly, I think
Okay. Okay.
I think I'm more proud. I'm
Yeah.
proud. I'm proud because she's learned. She's smart. You know, I have a theory, and my theory was always if you teach her something from a young age, she will learn. Whether
Yeah.
she knows it or not, her subconscious will pick it up, right?
Yeah.
And my theory was like, you know, I like theories, right?
Yeah.
But there's only one way to break a theory. One way to break a theory is by doing it, right? And be like, hey, you know, like, I teach you math. I'm gonna teach you math. I'm gonna teach you the basis of math and everything. And the day that I noticed that you better than me at math is because you're picking it up, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, it's basics. Basics. You know, eventually, if you teach her the basics, she's gonna know.
Yeah.
And right now, she's like really, the best grades she has is math. Honestly, the math is what she's the best of. You know, she
It's
to a
awesome.
percentage of something, she's good at it, right? So there's something subconsciously or consciously, she's really good at it. I don't worry about anything else. I think she's responsible. I think I'm very happy where she's at.
That's awesome, man.
And I feel like it comes down to the like, you know what? I'm gonna do this because I feel like this is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm happy about it. She's 12 years old.
That's awesome,
She's in
dude.
middle school. You know, first cell phone right now. Like whatever.
She was
excited. She's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get you a cell phone. She's like, oh, what the hell? You know.
I have a hard time because it's my baby girl, and I just
Mhm.
I'm like,
It's a little bit different.
I just want to cuddle you all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
like
So I see that
just
part
be
too.
stop being like grown up. Just be
So
my baby. You know,
I see that part. I see that part,
Yeah.
and I feel like sometimes I try to relate to Alan, and tell me, you know what, dude, like you got to do this, you got to do that.
Mhm.
Like maybe I'm not clear of how I'm trying to translate that to him because he's got a baby girl too.
Yeah.
He's got his son. He's got a baby girl.
Yeah, dude.
She's 3, bro.
It's different.
She's 3. I know.
It's different,
and that's
right?
why I was telling you because there's a very different way that I treat my daughter than I treat my
Yeah.
son. It doesn't necessarily mean that I love one more than the
No,
other.
not at
Not
all.
at all. But you have to be. I think that if you want your son to be a little bit tougher, you can't baby him the way you baby a girl.
Yeah.
I think there's a very big difference in that.
Your girl needs to be protected.
She does. I think she needs to be loved. I
And-
think you
and
need to
you're-
show her how she needs to be loved,
You're-
how she should expect someone to love her.
Exactly. And your boys need to learn how to protect other people.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you
we
go. There you go.
That's how
Hands
I
down,
think
we're
of
done.
it.
Hands
Like,
down.
Yeah,
Let's
we're
go.
done.
like
That's what it
boys,
is.
like my daughter needs to be protected, and my boys need to protect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's, and maybe that's old fashioned.
No,
I don't know. But
I
like
think that's what
honestly,
it is.
like I'm gonna teach my boys how to like be tough and be protective, and I'm gonna teach my daughter how a man should protect her.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, or you know how she should be protected. I should say. I gotta pee again.
Go for
Yo,
it,
go
man.
for it, man. Go for it. Yeah, yeah, go for it. Hey,
He's
put
getting the
it.
Don Julio out.
I don't know who brought the Julio. Nah, I'm
Alan.
good. I'm good, dude.
You don't want to do a little bit of Don Julio?
Why are you crying, dude?
No, I'm just saying. Hey, I am.
Why are you crying?
I am. I'm not saying I'm not. I am.
Why are you crying?
I hope you guys
Hey.
use some of the bizcocho stuff because that's hilarious.
Yo, John, we ain't paying you
Hey,
big bucks
bizcocho.
for you to go to the restroom.
I took a
mean?
sip. Yeah, no, I can totally taste the difference. Do you have a cheers? Is there a cheers?
Yeah.
Salud.
Salud. Cebolla.
Savoya? Onions?
That's my buddy.
That's his buddy. Shout out to Savoya.
Onions?
Shout out to Cebolla. Yeah. You know? He's like, nah, dog. I was like, what's up?
Savoya?
We work in retail, right? He's like, mama, bro, I started working, I was working in a warehouse, all this shit. I was working with Mexicans. I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. Bro, they call me Cebolla. I was like, what? He's like, they call me Cebolla. I was like, what the fuck?
That's when you know he really did work.
Yeah,
with
so I was
Mexicans.
like, so anybody's trying to BS me, I'm like, okay. I know you work with Mexicans because you had a nickname.
Like my nickname is bizcocho.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't argue with that. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
If
like,
you-
yeah, I
if-
believe you.
Yeah, I believe you. If you get, hey, some people try to act cool, like try to blend in. Like I don't care, dude. Like it doesn't matter. I
Yeah.
respect you no matter what, right?
Right.
So, you don't have to.
me honky.
Yeah, you don't have to act cool with me. Like I it doesn't matter, right? If you want to be cool, it's cool. I feel like you're a genuine person. Doesn't matter what. He's like, oh, they call me Cebolla. I was like, what? Cebolla? I was like, yeah, bro. I worked at a warehouse. I was the only white guy. They call me Cebolla. They call me Pinche Cebolla. I was like, what? Pinche Cebolla? I was like, what? Dude, what the fuck? Why you call me Cebolla? Like, I don't know, dog. I was like, shit. I was like, you either one. You stunk or you were white. One of those
No,
two.
or another one. Or he cried a lot.
Oh, he cried a lot. Yeah.
He complained
Yeah.
a lot.
He complained a lot. Yeah, yeah.
Oh God, that's awesome.
Those- one of those three.
They said he said he worked at a warehouse. So I'm like, Mexicans put in work, right? Hours, 14, 12 hours, whatever.
no shit, dude.
So it's like, what the fuck? So I knew he was genuine. I knew he
Yeah.
worked with Mexicans.
yeah.
So he had the phrases. He's like, pinche cebolla, no mames, way, no mames. Like he knew all those phrases.
Yeah.
You only know that when you work with Mexicans.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true. It's like,
100%.
no mames, way.
I didn't know
no
like
chingues, way.
I didn't know like way was
Yeah.
kind of not okay for some people.
It
It's not
depends.
that it depends.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was like dude.
It
or
is like, dude.
It is.
And for us, I think it depends what part of Mexico you're from. But
probably
from the part of Mexico we're from, that just means like, dude.
yeah. Like, but I said it in front of some people where it was not.
So
Like,
when you're talking,
dude.
so when you're like, for example, when you're talking, probably if I were to guess with your uncle, he's a World War II veteran.
Yeah.
You're not gonna call him dude, probably. I don't
Okay.
think. I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah,
I
no.
don't think, right? So it's like when I'm talking to my uncles, people that I respect, I won't call them way.
Mhm.
It's like it's not respectful.
Where were you from? Where are you from?
Where am I from?
Yeah,
I was
you're-
born and raised here in Salem.
But your family.
They're
like-
from Mexico, from Michoacan.
Okay. Okay.
My dad's a Chilango,
Okay.
but my mom's side's from Morelia, Michoacan.
Okay.
But when you speak to your elders, you never say way, because that's disrespectful for elders. But when you're talking with your boys, like way, that's
It's
how we
just
talk.
a-
That's how we
it's
talk to
just-
each other. Dude,
yeah.
dude, right? But I wouldn't, if in English, I wouldn't call my uncle a dude. Like
Would your uncle be offended?
he wouldn't be offended. They wouldn't say anything, but it's kind of it is kind of disrespectful because we were raised in a certain way where manners were like when you're
Manners are
talking-
important.
Manners are important when you're talking to your elders. You always respect your elders.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You always respect your elders. So there's another thing too. I don't know if you know what this means, but tú,
Tú?
tú,
I don't.
tú means you, right? But in
Like
Spanish,
that's old school.
but in Spanish, you don't say tú to an elder because that's disrespectful.
Okay.
I can tell you tú, you can tell me tú when you're around the same age, but when you're talking to an elder, it's usted. There's a very big difference.
So that goes back to like the more formal.
It's very formal.
Yeah,
But
it's
the thing is,
formal.
it is formal, but still, I will even like when I talk to people, and sometimes it's really hard to be able to tell someone's age because maybe they have a beard or whatnot, but it's really hard to tell their age. So it's like sometimes I'll say usted, and they'll be like, dude, I'm not even fucking 30 yet. And I don't know. But the thing is, like, it's like, I have to be respectful because I don't know how old you are. As soon as
Sure.
I know you're not over 30 and you're like my age, I'll be like, tú.
Yeah.
But if I told you to, you wouldn't feel disrespected.
So that's still a cult like,
Very-
but it's still a faux pas
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
like
I don't know
like-
what that is.
like not okay.
It's not okay when
Yeah.
you're talking to an elder.
So
I got one time
like-
my dad
like,
whipped my ass because I said that. I said to an elder person.
because I know I know like in Argentina they're very much into the like super formal stuff.
Yeah.
Like for it, like compared to English, it's almost like Argentinians say thee and thou,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
like they use like super old English type of like if it was English,
Yeah.
they would use very old English type of talking,
Yeah.
right? Like
No,
usted
that's-
and the
That,
like.
that's what it is. It's the same thing. It goes back to the same thing as
God, that's really fucking
Usted.
good.
You want more, bro?
Usted.
Holy shit, that's really good.
It's from Mexico, dude.
Take the rest. I don't think there's very much.
You know
in
the
it.
difference is 5% less alcohol.
That there's a big difference in 5%. There's a very big difference in
This
5%.
this you actually want to sip on it. The other one's is shots.
really
This you want to sip. You want to sip.
different.
You want to sip.
You want more?
know?
We got more. It's not Don Julio. It's 1800, but it's still straight
No,
from
this is
Mexico.
good. This is good. This
No,
is
for
good.
him.
No. Yeah, I'm trying to get him fucked up.
Let-
Like you
wait,
actually
wait,
taste
wait.
it. You taste
No,
it.
you
want,
do.
You want ice? We got
there's
ice.
some like there's
Yeah, we got ice
Juanito.
too.
there's like pepper notes.
Hey, you want
There's,
ice?
there's like black
Okay.
pepper notes in it. That's really good. Like really.
Dude, this
So-
is a tequila tasting, not wine tasting.
So anytime you see the sticker right here,
Thank you very much.
anytime you see the sticker, that means it's straight from Mexico. The difference between Mexico and here, let's go back.
All right. Let's.
We're going back.
The only place
How
you
far
could
back?
do tequila is Mexico, right?
No,
Okay,
a specific place in Mexico. Did you know that?
Yeah.
A specific state in Mexico.
Yeah. What is it?
Jalisco.
Okay.
Okay.
There's
So
a city called Tequila, Jalisco.
so back in the day, way back in the day,
Ballers.
some government rule or not government, some rules like, hey, you can't name it tequila if it's not from here,
Yeah.
right? Whatever.
That's not
That's-
just
that's the difference
Mexico.
to-
They
no.
do that with whiskey too.
no.
Because
But I'm talking about tequila.
okay, but
Talking
I was
about
just saying
tequila.
they do that everywhere
No.
though, without all the alcohol.
So I'm talking about tequila, right? So they're like, hey, whatever the scenario is. So it's entrepreneur money, whatever. At
Sure.
the end of the day, is money, right? If it's not from Jalisco, it ain't
Tequila.
tequila, right? So the difference between Jalisco and the Rock and all these entrepreneurs that want to do tequila is the percentage of alcohol, right? So if you go to Mexico, there's Don Julio right here in the United States is what 5% more alcohol. So when you take a shot, it's like, oh shit, what the fuck is this, right?
Yeah.
When you sip on it, you're like, okay, on the rocks,
Yeah.
whiskey on the rocks, it's tequila on the rocks. You actually taste the flavor. You actually
Yeah.
taste
I
it.
taste the flavor in that, dude. That stuff's
So it's
amazing.
like, okay, I see. So the quality of tequila that you drink on the rocks, from Mexico, it keeps going higher and higher. Don Pedro, where's the
Don Pedro.
what's the popular drink here in the U.S.?
1942.
No, not Don Julio. It's not that Julio. It's what's the other one? Don Pedro? No, what's Don Julio?
Don Julio.
The Julio is more Americanized, right?
Okay.
More Americanized is like it's more from the
like
States.
Don Julio 1942.
No, it's not Don Julio. It's
No.
what's Don No, what's the other one?
Don Pedro is brandy.
That's a restaurant.
No, what's
Don Pedro is my favorite
No.
Tequila.
brandy.
the Julio is
Have we
Don
had it?
Patron. Don Patron.
Oh,
Patron.
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 The Patron.
Patron is more Americanized. It's more
Yeah.
like mainstream, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind mainstream, but mainstream is what is it? Patron, right?
Yeah.
The Julio is authentic. You want the Julio de
Dude.
70, you want the Julio Azul, you want the Julio, like the Julio is a little bit better quality, right?
Dude, that stuff is amazing. Seriously.
No.
What is the is it like
This is
oak
the
barrels?
Julio
Reposado.
Añejo or Reposado. I don't even know what it is, but it's from Mexico.
100% agave. Of
So
course.
so their alcohol
Gotta have the
percentage
effort.
is less. What that means is you enjoy the. So it goes back to beer, right?
Sure.
It goes back to beer. It's like you actually enjoy the taste of the beer, not
Yeah.
just not getting fucked up, right? This goes back to you enjoy the taste of the alcohol, like the taste of the Julio. That's what it goes back to.
That stuff's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But let's go back because we're gonna be here all night because
No,
we're having
yeah,
such a
yeah,
good
yeah.
time.
Wrap it up.
Wrap this.
Yeah.
So we were where we were at. We were at. He ended up opening his own place, and then he ended up deciding he wanted to move more closer to downtown. So you moved to the spot where you're at.
Yep.
You found the spot. You emailed people. You called people.
Yeah.
You ended up getting the spot.
Yeah.
You ended up doing a lot of the work yourself. You built that bar.
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah, I
we
framed out the bar.
where we allegedly hang out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I
Mate.
framed that all out. I did
We eat there.
construction, did all that stuff to like
Have you ever done construction before?
No, fuck no, dude.
So you learned there.
Like I mean like I own a
You
house,
said,
but
"Fuck
like
no."
Yeah.
but like I had to like contact people and be like help me.
Yeah, you get the
But I did
connects.
it. I did it all myself. I cut all
you
the
figure it out. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you figure it out and you establish yourself.
Yeah, I cut the wood, I did all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like I did everything.
Yeah.
The bar top, I will say, the guys from Gilgamesh, I traded them some equipment. They helped me out with the bar top. So
Yeah.
all the tabletops that I have, I put those all together. Those are all stacked plywood. And I had an individual who's a master woodworker, and I promised him I wouldn't say his name on it because my woodworking is it's terrible compared to his stuff. Like he does amazing work, but he helped me like finish it and get it all good for the restaurant. But yeah, like
When did you get started on social media? Your Instagram.
we started the social media, the Instagram, like right away, like right when we
2 years ago.
Yeah, right when we opened the restaurant. We started with the social media, but like myself and my wife, like had done some marketing, social media marketing before with some other companies. We actually did some stuff for the blockchain. So we had that background. Well, we don't take ourselves too seriously, to be honest. Like we like there's the whole social media thing. People like get really like we got to be serious and we got to like
That's
please,
us, man. We're super serious.
like they want to please everybody, right? Like these restaurants, they want to make sure every single person in their area likes them. We know that's not going to happen. Yeah, we know that we know that a lot of people are going to hate us. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Honest, like
I honestly, not just because I like you and I like your people.
I appreciate
your
you.
people are like your employees, but I honestly couldn't name another sandwich shop. I honestly
Dude,
couldn't.
Cozy's.
They're not a sandwich shop. That's
Well,
different.
no, not Cozy, but there's Cozy's New York Deli.
Yeah,
where's that at? Where's that at?
they are over. You're gonna be impressed that I know this. They're over off of the
A 2000
industrial.
kid?
Yeah,
Where?
watch,
I
I'm
know.
putting you on game.
And
son.
you know what, dude?
I'm putting
where?
you on game.
Where?
They're
No.
off of watch. They're
Yeah,
off of
yeah.
industrial. They're
Yep.
over. They're over by the hoop.
100%.
They are.
And-
They are the hoop.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And I'll tell you what, dude.
No,
I'll tell you what.
hey,
I'm putting you on game.
Because, hey,
They're
Can I tell you-
gabagool.
can I tell you
They're
why?
gabagool.
no, I've been there. I've been there.
Have you been there?
Yeah, me and my girl have been there.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's cool.
The gabagool is
I'm gonna tell you
awesome.
what.
Yeah, it's cool. Hey, but it ain't hype though.
No,
you know?
no, that's not. It's not. They're not hype.
No,
They're
no,
just
no,
good.
no,
They're not hype.
They're good. They're
But
good
I
hype.
appreciate them a tremendous amount because they're not. They don't have the hype.
They're
Like we do. We
different.
do the hype thing.
They're
Like,
different.
To be honest, we do the hype thing.
Yeah,
I like,
yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna like try and pretend we don't. We do it.
Yeah.
But Cozy's New York Deli, their deli sandwiches, they're like freaking gabagool.
But
I
they're
would eat that all
they're
day
not
long.
hot though.
No, they're not. They're not
cold.
hot.
I don't like cold sandwiches.
But you don't have to. But that's okay. They're cold sandwich, and I love cold sandwiches.
Okay, that's why.
I do. I love it. And their gabagool, which is a cold sandwich, is fire, dude. It's so good for somebody who likes cold sandwiches. It's so good.
Okay, for
And
someone that likes cold
I'll
sandwiches.
be honest, like we're different
Mm.
than those guys.
Yeah, for
Those
sure.
guys
You
have a
are
whole different
completely
thing.
Different.
Completely
you go into
different.
them, it looks like I felt like when I went to them, I went to like what would you consider them, like Italian sandwiches?
They're like a deli, like an Italian
just
deli.
Salem OR, just like
No,
Chris,
so it's like
Qu-
I go
Crystal
in-
sub, Crystal sub.
No. So
Right?
if I go into there, I feel like that's like an Italian like meat shop kind of like they
Yeah.
have like all the meats and everything. It's just it's a
Like
different
like
feeling. You
Subway
guys are-
wants to be them. Subway wants to
Subway-
pretend like
Subway
they're them.
tries
There
to
you
be
go.
them very hard, but they're authentic onto what they do. But you guys do a lot of like hot food.
We
Like,
do.
it's
We do a lot of hot sandwiches.
hot
and
sandwiches.
You know, like I always tell people, like our sandwiches are what chefs and cooks at really nice restaurants make for themselves in the back, right? So like we're gonna take like pork
Yeah, I get
that
you.
we would otherwise sell for $30 a plate, and we'll turn it into a sandwich that was that like could sell for $13.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's what we do. Like we do stuff. We do bougie shit
Yeah.
for the masses.
Mhm.
You know, like we want everybody to eat the good stuff in a very simple form and in a very simple way. Like that's and honestly, like was saying earlier, like I want to feed people. I want people to be fed. I want them to eat good things.
Did
You know.
did your employees come with the business, or did you hire your employees after you bought the business?
I hired everybody.
You hired everybody.
Yeah. So like when I bought the business, when I bought the sandwich shop that was there before,
Mm-hmm.
it was just me. Like
Dude, you
front
have-
and back, everything.
You have an amazing staff, man.
No,
And
I
can't
do.
and I can't say that about every business because I'm talking about everybody. Like, dude, your cooks,
No, it's true.
the girls, and at the front, like we talk with everybody. Like when we go up front, before we even knew anybody, in the morning or in the afternoons, dude. When we call in orders, your people are just like so happy to like take orders over the phone.
No, our staff is awesome.
And then we go in and we're having a beer, dude. Your cook will come out and ask us how the food is. Like your cook will like start conversating with, dude. It's like everybody that's fucking there. It's like conversing with everybody. If they're not busy, if they're not like super slammed, like they come out and they're like asking us how everything is.
well, that's important.
And everybody
To
talks
me.
about how hard it is to find people. So I'm just like amazed because I don't really see very much churn at your restaurant, at your place.
It happens, but like at the same time, like I'm gonna give those people that leave a letter of recommendation, because they're going on to other things or moving on to something that's gonna better themselves, But no, dude, like I got great people, man.
For
Like,
sure.
I really do. Like these guys are passionate about food. They're passionate about what they do. They want to make sure the customers are happy. And that's really the ultimate thing. Like we want to make sure that like people are like eating's an everyday thing.
Mhm.
Everybody eats every day, People choose to go out to a restaurant to have a little bit a little bit better experience than pouring cereal in their bowl.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think the people that I have are true professionals.
They are.
You know what I mean? And I hope this doesn't sound like I'm disparaging anybody at all, but my servers, my bartenders, anybody that's there, my cooks are on par with electricians or plumbers or anybody else because they have a skill. They have a skill set. They have their job that they do, and they care about it in a way that I don't think a lot of other people that have regular jobs do necessarily. But these people actually want to succeed and want to do well in their profession. I always think that, like, you know, because I come from the cook world, right? Like a good cook is going to have that skill set, and they're going to well, they have that skill set, but they're gonna have that passion, not just passion, but they're gonna have the ability to do their job really well. I don't think that every cook could do what an electrician does, right? They maybe they can't do that. But I also don't think that every electrician could come in, sit on a line, take the pressure and the heat and the like, the intensity
For sure.
of being on a line where everybody wants their food right now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's tough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they don't give a shit about anybody else that
There you
came
go.
before them. They don't give a shit about
Yeah.
anybody that did anything around them. They just want their goddamn burger.
Yeah.
Like, and these cooks,
That's what it is.
these cooks take that pressure, they take that energy, they take everything, and they, day after day after day after day, they put the food out and get people fed. And as simple and as ridiculous, maybe as some people might think like that, those same people that think that's ridiculous are the ones that are actually going and eating that food.
The thing
You know
is,
what I mean?
I don't think people realize that that's skill, right?
It
That is
is.
a skill. That is a skill to provide, to have the food, to have it ready, to have it warm, to wherever it is, right? If you order online, if you order the phone, like, that is a skill. And you know, one of the things is Valiant Sandwiches. You know, I go there. I like to eat there. I like to eat everywhere downtown. But I could truly understand. It's genuine. It takes skill, right? It character. It's everything. It's, you know, it's a timely manner. It's everything, right? It's people don't understand that.
I told my staff like, hey guys, when we're really busy, you need to start telling the customers that, like, hey, like, before we would say, hey, there's like a 40 minute wait, right? And people would be like, what the fuck? Why does it take so long to make a goddamn sandwich? I told them to start telling people, like, we got 20 sandwiches to make ahead of you.
Ooh.
25 sandwiches.
Okay.
So that puts a number in people's heads, and they start to understand, like, oh shit, that's a lot of fucking sandwiches to make.
Yeah.
And people are a little bit more receptive to that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy that you say that. That's such a different perspective.
Right? Like if I told you, like, it's going to 40 minutes to get your sandwich, and you're like,
dude, I don't know how
why
many
the
fucking
fuck does it
sandwiches.
take?
I don't know how many fucking sandwiches you can make in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Like,
Mind
and then
blown.
you're like, oh, you know, like, hey, we got to make 25 sandwiches ahead of you.
It's not about what you say, but how you say it.
Yeah,
it gives people a perspective.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to like manipulate people
No,
or
no,
anything,
no,
but
no.
we're just trying to just give people perspective on like, hey, we got a lot of shit to do here, and there's a lot of people that came before you, you know, because we don't like this stuff isn't pre-made.
Yeah.
Nothing we do is
It's all
pre-made.
fresh. It's all
Like-
the same day. Let's go.
Like our corned beef, our roast beef, all that stuff takes hours and hours and hours to do. Like our roast beef takes at least 12 hours to get to the point where we can cut it. Well, it's not even cut it. It takes 12 hours to get to the point where we can cool it off, and that takes another 4 hours
Jesus
till it gets
Christ.
cooled enough till we can cut it. Right? So it's not something that we can be like, hey, we're going to open up a package and throw this shit out to you. It's a matter of we're doing these things right. We're doing these things in a way that you aren't going to experience anywhere else. And you want to be mad at me because I can't give you exactly what you want right now?
We're in retail. We understand. We're in
Yeah.
retail. We understand. When we have a line of people, and people walk into our building, people ask, "Hey, how long is it gonna be?" Oh, it's probably gonna be like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and they see there's like 4 people ahead of them. And they're like, "What the fuck?" But then when it's their turn, they want us to take our sweet time with them, and
Yeah.
they want us to fix every problem. So it's like, you want us to make your perfect sandwich, but you want your fucking sandwich right now. So it's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna make you your perfect sandwich, but you have to wait your turn.
Yeah.
There's fucking there's 8 other sandwiches that I have to make.
Yeah.
Everybody likes this sandwich just as much as you do.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing. And I think that's like people just don't know. And it's the perspective that you just gave us where you're like, it's a 30-minute wait, or there's 18 sandwiches before yours. I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of sandwiches you have to make. That's there's a big difference, not in what you say, but in how you say it.
And it's informing people.
For sure.
Like, it's information. And 35 minutes is one form of information, which sounds shitty. Like, I don't want to wait 35 minutes for a sandwich. But if you say, I got 20 sandwiches to make before you, then it's like, oh, well. And we tell people how much time there is or how many sandwiches there are ahead of them, so that not because we're like, hey, we want to take your money and make you wait. It's a matter of like, we want to give you all the information that you need, because if you're really freaking hungry and you have a short time limit, you can go somewhere else. And it's not like we want to kick you out of here.
No.
It's literally like, we care about you and we want you to get fed in the manner that you need to get fed.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So if somebody is like, well, that's too long, I can't wait that long, I'm going to leave, we're not going to be offended. We're going to be like, okay, cool. Like, appreciate that. Like, I'm glad that we told you that so that you can go eat your food.
Yeah.
Even if the person's kind of a dick about it, like,
exactly.
like we're going to be, I'm glad that you know, so that you can go get your food. So.
Okay. Damn.
Dude, you guys are freaking a blast.
Dude, you're a blast, man. We're happy to have you, man. We were excited
come
to have
back?
you. Dude, you better come back, man. You better come back, man.
We got to talk about the
but
the
hey,
St. James acting stuff.
For real. We're gonna talk about that at our next episode. Yeah, man. We've had a blast. We've been here for a little bit.
Yeah.
And we've learned a lot from you. And we're gonna have you back.
I would love to.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram and your location?
Chef St. James, and then ValiantTheSandwich.
ValiantTheSandwich.
Valiant Eats
Hey.
on Insta.
If you guys want to know what sandwiches are popping, if you guys want to know what's off the menu, if you guys want to know what's on the menu, you guys need to follow ValiantTheSandwich.
I might be doing a burger pop up, a Valiant
There you
burger
go,
pop
there you
up
go,
here
that's all we
soon.
need.
So,
Dude,
so
burgers are my shit.
you guys are the
Yeah.
first things to hear
That's all
this.
we
You guys are the
need.
first people to hear this. But I'm probably pretty soon gonna do like Monday, Tuesdays, the days that we're closed. I'll probably start doing a Valiant the burger pop up.
There you go. That's all we need.
Burgers are my shit.
Right?
Burgers
Yeah.
are my shit. This guy makes fun of me. This guy makes fun of me.
People are like, "What's the last food that you would ever eat? Like, if you could only eat one food ever," I'm like, burgers
Me too.
all day long.
Burgers are my shit, dude.
It's shit.
But-
It's shit. Hey,
Hey,
it's what you like. That's what you like.
that's what
Oh,
you like.
man.
That's what you like.
That's what you like.
Hey, but we
So I got
appreciate
this-
you.
I got this one.
Uh,
I got to tell you this.
tell
real quick.
us.
Hold
tell-
on. I know
let
you're
us
trying
know.
to finish out.
No,
You're
I'm
trying to
not.
wrap up.
No,
Shut-
no,
shut
no,
me
no,
up.
no.
This is burger, and I crave it. Constant. Oh shit! Sorry, crave this burger. So I constantly. In Pennsylvania, there's this regional burger called a Fluff Screamer.
Fluff
Right.
screamer.
You know what a
Okay.
you
I
know
don't know. I've never heard of that. Have you?
So
Yeah, that
Fluff,
shit.
Fluff is this marshmallow cream stuff. It comes in a tub.
Okay.
So what they do is they take this burger, they make a patty of burger. They throw marshmallow fluff on it, so it's super sweet, marshmallow shit, and then they put like chili sauce, spicy chili sauce on it, and onions, and then do this like it's a burger, right?
Okay.
So I was like a few months or a month or so back, I was like, I gotta see if this is actually any good because this might be garbage. This is like freaking weird Pennsylvania
Yeah.
people. I tried it. It's ridiculously good.
Really? You
Oh
made it
my
at home or what?
gosh. Huh?
You made it at home or what?
I made it at work.
Okay.
So me and Tommy, which you may have met Tommy.
We met Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy is my boy.
Tommy and I like start craving this burger like so every once in a while we're like making ourselves these like Fluff Screamer burgers. That's going to go on the burger menu.
Okay. Next time I go, I'm gonna be like, yo, my boy
I ca-
Tommy.
I call it a cream screamer and some people are like, "You shouldn't call it that." And I'm like,
Dude, y'all gonna be like
if you're-
Starbucks.
If you got a filthy mind, maybe not, but like,
Dude, y'all gonna be like Starbucks. Y'all gonna have the secret menu.
dude.
Woo, let's
But like
go.
the burger Valiant the burger should pop up Monday, Tuesdays.
Only Monday, Tuesdays.
Yeah, because that's the day Valiant the Sandwich is closed. So I was like, I'll do the burger spot on those 2 days.
Jorge's favorite
So-
thing is the burrito. What's it called?
The lockdown.
Lockdown burrito.
Lockdown burrito. Let's
man.
go.
Sandwich.
My favorite thing is the quesadilla.
The Tiwi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
Let's
Tiwi
go.
quesadilla. That's my favorite. Can't get it to go. Can't get it to go. It has to be in house.
In the back. If he's gonna give you a hard time,
He doesn't give me a hard time.
No,
I
just
can.
tell-
I didn't want. Dude, I didn't want to let everybody know that I was special, but if I
You
wanted
are
to go,
special.
if I wanted it to go, these guys have given it to me to go. But
Yeah, no, you will
but
get
I
it
was
to
just like-
go.
I'm just telling you, people.
just tell
that's-
Haley
that's
she'll
girl.
pack
Shout
his
out to
shit.
Haley,
Dude.
Shout out to
Haley.
Haley.
Shelly.
No. But for the, I was told that the quesadillas are for their only. That's what I was told.
Yeah,
So,
that's what it
like
is.
that guy
but
doesn't
but
listen
y'all
to
ain't
me.
as special as us. So y'all have to get it to go. Get a beer on your way out. Chug it on your before you leave because you can't take out the beer. Get a beer too though. Or get a Coke. Y'all got Mexican Cokes too.
Hell yeah.
Get a Mexican Coke to go, and y'all are ready.
Yeah,
Let's go.
That's all right.
All
Date
your
night, let's
Mexican
fucking
lager,
go.
Let's
See if
go.
Haley will drop a little rum in that.
Hey, y'all
Mexican
wanna
Coke,
know?
so.
Let's go. But hey, we appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
We've had a blast with you,
Hell yeah.
and dude, we're gonna have you back. That's it.
I would love it.
Part 2.
Anytime.
Let's
Let's
fucking
go.
go. Checking out. Thank you guys.
Podcast.